Good morning, everybody. How you guys all doing? I guess it's technically evening slash afternoon for some of you, but it's morning for me. How you guys all doing? I don't know what the hell's going on with my webcam, but here we are. Man, dude, do I look old? Is the gray in my hair? It looks so much more prominent when I'm streaming and when I look in the mirror, but if you see me IRL, I definitely don't look this gray, man. Holy shit, dude. Wow. How y'all doing? We are live a little early, but I will set the timer to, what is it, 12? So I'll have the timer displaying like exactly when this thing goes live. But yeah, nothing wrong with look, bro. I don't know, man. I know that like when I'm looking at myself in the webcam, I'm like, I am not this old, dude. I am definitely not this old. I take a picture, I don't look this old. In the mirror, because of the lights and where it hits me, like the silvers, the grays in my hair, those catch light so easily. On stream, I think it's because I have two big ass ring lights that why I look so old. That or I do also have a lot less color in my webcam for one reason or another. I look gray. I look like a ghost. I look like I literally aging right in front of you guys actively. You know what I mean? Like I've got some Khadgar syndrome kind of shit going on. You know what I mean? Except I'm aging forwards, not backwards, but I look old to begin with. Ages normally look great. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Boys, so we got the big deep dive and then midnight alpha tomorrow. I do not know if I have the alpha. Last time, with War Within, I had to go talk to a person and then be like, hey, I'm not in the alpha. I'm wondering what's going on. Am I not in? Am I in? Because I have been in for last couple alphas, for last few expansions. What is up, Doc? You know what I mean? And I brought him back just ahead of time, just to see what happens. I don't know. I'm not part of some content creator program at Blizz or anything. The cat's out of the bag, boys. I don't have some kind of like a crazy hookup. I'm not getting like a crazy amount of merch or nothing from them for free. I'm not in that big boy club. Maybe one day, but yeah. So I just don't know. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting for you and me. I am not planning on streaming tomorrow. If we get in, I'll stream. If I'm not streaming, then we're not streaming. If we do get in, the probably I think like Monday and Saturday or Friday and Saturday, I probably won't even. Probably should still do Duels Day, shouldn't I? Kimmer giving you the Khadgar hair. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna blame it on the webcam, dude. I just need a higher quality one. That's the thing. And I got alpha before, but hope I get it. I've been playing since BC. The thing is about alphas, however, is it's unless you know somebody in Blizz, there's no guarantee. The only people that maybe get a guaranteed alpha are people that have been like veterans from pre-beta, but they need to be like in the system specifically. But there's no guarantee of like, hey, you've been playing this long, you get in based on seniority. I think they should add that, right? Especially for those classic players in particular. I feel like players that have been playing for a while should probably have some sort of seniority on that listing somewhere. But at the very least, there's beta, and that you can get a guarantee in for the you can get that as a guarantee at the very bare minimum through the you know, Legion Alpha and then never again since. Yeah, some people just get it once and then never pop back in. Literally just an average player. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that are, look, there's a lot of people that get in the alphas that are like average players that you don't need to be some crazy. Let me get the music back up and running because I cannot be sitting here without any sound. It's like my brain just doesn't let me sit here in silence. I cannot stand it. Get some in-tavern music. I'll probably switch it up a little bit. I got some things I can still do in-game. But yeah, let me also check to make sure that this is working too, because I need to have a timer about my noggin, because the thing is not starting for about an hour. I just want to be here extra early. Just stream it. Oh, did I? Oh, did I? Wait, chat. What part of the stream did I spell wrong? Hold on. Midnight deep dive and watch along. Oh, okay. Long. It's not I spelled it wrong. I forgot a letter. God damn it. I do appreciate you catching it for me, though. Honestly, I'm a bit of a goober like that. So let me see if I can get it going. There we go. So this is a timer for when this thing goes live. I could also add an extra... deep dive launches in... Deep dive starts, I guess. Oh, deep dive clock. I don't know what chat. What do I call this thing? Deep dive clock. Deep dive counter. Countdown. There we go. Beautiful. And now I want to make it kind of thinnish and then put it like more centered. How does that look? Good enough, right? Good enough. Bro. I fix, okay? Refresh. Deep dive Q&A. Yeah, we're gonna be watching both of them. I'm gonna watch them both. I'm low-key excited for Black Ops 7 beta this weekend. Zombies are the first ever beta, big W. Good. I think it's good for them to do a beta, especially more players can play it. I feel like with Call of Duty in particular, I feel like those games have, in my opinion, stagnated a little bit. I feel like if they're able to release good product, I think that'll be good. Either or. Yeah, I've got the beta before prior to everyone getting the beta thing. I've got the beta before prior. Yeah. What's up, man? Been watching the channel for years. Ready for deep dive, yo. Same. I am. Like, I'm actually excited about Midnight. Like, patch 11.2 was a patch that I was kind of surprised, like, wait, this actually looks real good of a patch. Actually super fun during the early PTR testing, and just playing it so far has been pretty fun in general. But Midnight, some of the stuff that came out with, like, I actually am pretty excited. Void of Demon Hunter spec. We got, what else we got? The Prey and open world content seems to be getting a lot more attention. So, like, if you're a Delve enjoyer, solo player, casual player, you're getting more content, technically. I'm excited about class changes in particular. I'm hoping that there'll be some huge revamps, but I mean, expansion on hero talents, more talents in general, Apex talents. There's a lot of potential for good, and I'm hoping they'll come out with, like, during War Within, or no, maybe it was during Dragonflight, they released, like, talents for everybody to take a look at and comment down on, like, forums or whatever, what the thoughts are on the talents. But they released basically the entire talent tree, and you get to see it and see what all the nodes are. And then through Wowhead, you can, like, get the interactive ones, so you can really look at all the different builds out there. I'm hoping to do something like this for Apex talents, just release all of them. It doesn't look like they'll be available in the alpha immediately, but we'll see. Let's quickly put the stream on my phone. Oh, that is actually cringe AF. Yeah, that is weird. I don't touch multiplayer, strictly zombies enjoyer. I feel like zombies should just be its own game mode. Like, what if you could just buy Call of Duty, but, like, only a part of it? Right? You don't want to play the campaign or multiplayer, you just want to play zombies, so you get to pay, like, less for the content you want. That'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? It's hopefully they'll pull up Apex talents so we can at least see them before phase 4. Yeah. I'm excited to see what they do for classes, because they're all going to be so, like, special or whatever. Huh? That's messed up, actually. It doesn't even play. That's weird. Content creators making guides on one button rotation baffles me. I saw a couple of those thumbnails or posts about one button rotation builds. Yes, there is a channel that's doing that. I don't know the channel. I don't know nothing about him. Nothing at all. But yeah, I did see that. And never had it before. YouTube, but I can check it on my end. Yeah, let me actually check it on my end. YouTube says excellent connection, all good. Yeah. Thank goodness YouTube decided to mess up the, I don't even know what I logged in on. Mess up the mobile stuff. But yeah, we had that for Black Ops gamers. I think they stopped it. We had that for 2 Black Ops games, but I think they stopped. Really? That's crazy. But yeah, the one button rotation thing, look, I think the one button rotation is probably a good implementation for a lot of people in the community. Right? Like, there's gonna be some players that are just not really looking to parse big numbies at all. Like, literally zero interest in that whatsoever. Within it comes through the overall end game of WoW. Right? So the one button rotation just helps them specifically. Accessibility, yeah. But the one button is also not great at, like, your rotation. So if you are trying to, like, squeeze out the most amount of damage out of the one button macro keybind thing, I can see why people would make builds on it. Because look, it's not gonna play perfectly. But what if you find, like, and this is just the min-maxy side of me. I'm gonna skip along to another song mix. Yeah, get them wrath in here. But yeah, this is what my thought process is. One button isn't great at playing your class quickly. But what if you create a build to find a way to min-max the damage while using the one button? The min-maxer in me is like excited about that idea specifically. Was I trying to go to here? No, I think I was trying to go Brewfest thing. Well, trying to figure out what I was gonna do in this character. I think I want to do the Brewfest. Oh no, I was gonna do Hollowful Arathi for the crate. Let me do that real quick. But yeah, feels like on the Joseph button rotation. Yeah, like don't get me wrong. If you like it, you like it. If it works for you, it works for you. That's all that really matters. Like at the end of the day, feel like UI guides and one button essentially would be good content on their own. Yeah. For controller setups, yes. If they ever announce WoW for a controller, I think the one button would be one of their avenues to potentially break into it. I feel like for one button though, they would have to probably make that. I don't know if they would have to be able to, or maybe that's what they would have to do, right? Maybe that's what they have to do is controller support, make WoW playable for controllers. I think they would just have to buff the one button so you actually could deal some decent DPS without one button. But then it's like you're not really playing your class except for cooldowns and stuff. I don't know. I mean, technically people have been able to get 1800 and get their elite sets playing just the one button for PvP. And for PvP, apparently it's really not that bad. Because like in PvP, all you gotta do is just focus on your rotation, but sometimes it's really hard when everything is happening all at once. And some people actually find it kind of useful, because Boomkid, it actually could play it pretty well. Shaman, it can actually play it pretty well. I think Death Knight, it can play pretty well, and Feral Druid, it can play pretty well. It doesn't stun, so you have to do it yourself, but like a lot of the other features, it could play okay. Yeah, those are a Pele one button guide randomly popped up on YouTube. Yeah, I think this might be by the same guy that I saw doing guides. He did them for tanks, and for tanks I guess it kind of makes sense because like you're not really, the rotation for tanks is pretty simple, but you're just focusing on other things in between your rotation. So I mean, of course you could always min-max your damage if you can play it well yourself, but I can also see somebody else like, you know what, I'm not going to be going for the cutting edge. I just want to get my weekly keys out of the way, get some of my weekly events out of the way. Is that all you really get, is just pet charms and stuff? Do you ever get anything good out of this? Probably not, right? Would you rather have my featured button opener with Ryzen Arca mouse? Yeah, exactly. Speaking about it, I feel like honestly, if they were to streamline and simplify some of the classes, and I don't mean dumb down, but like some classes are complex for the sake of complexity. Like Rogue, there's a reason why not a lot of people dive into that spec. It's so complicated, bro. There's so many little variations you gotta do rotationally. Every time you roll the buffs, your rotation can change drastically. It is just wild. And not great for new players either. And there's no easy build. There just isn't an easy build whatsoever. PvP. Yeah. I don't think it works for Rogue real well. No, it does not. Rogue is a complex class. Like, even just making guides on rogues, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, how do I explain all these rogue mechanics to a player that maybe never played Rogue and is picking it up on War Within? And I just had a realization making guides during War Within that this thing is so cooked. It is so chopped, dude. It is pretty bad. Like, it's a fun spec. Pretty sure they did this quest. Did the quest reset for me? That or the Death Knight never did these quests. I'm pretty sure I already done these quests on my Death Knight, but maybe I just didn't. Maybe I memory hold it somewhere. Oh, it looked to me a while to learn. Yeah, Outlaw. That's Assassin, Outlaw, and Subtlety Outlaw specs that probably could use a bit of streamlining. Like, there's just so many buttons, so many cooldowns for you to manage. It's a lot just for one person to, like, even get a grasp of. It is just, it's not new player friendly whatsoever. Yeah, so that's a spec that probably could use a bit of simplification. Some is even harder for me managing symbols and dance. Yeah, it's a lot of like those in-between cooldowns, and they're so floaty. There's no like a specific strict use case for those cooldowns. Flagellation, Shadow Blades, use it once every 1.5 minutes, basically on cooldown. Dance and symbols, sometimes you can delay to get more damage, and sometimes you can just press them on cooldown and you'll be just fine. And because of that flexibility for those cooldowns, because there's no like specific strict structure around the use case, it's a spec that can really excel in damage and really have a free flow in damage. But like a new player like is not gonna know when is the best time to press it. They're just not gonna know. There's nothing that like teaches you of like, hey, this is the best time to use a cooldown. You kind of just got to look at the logs and see where the damage is going to be the highest, or where could you get the most amount of damage, like if add spawn or whatever the case may be. And that's all you can really do. And there's just really no control over it. Very little control over it. Can I IBF it? I can IBF it. So let me get the mount here. Come on! Come on, dude. I just want the mount. I've been trying for this thing for every day now. Anybody get the mount yet, dude? I have not seen that thing except like twice so far. I haven't seen other people running with it at all either. It is actually kind of wild. I'm actually gonna do some of these quests just because there's a there's actually a if you're looking to finish up like all the trading post stuff in a single day, literally doing Brewfest is the way to go. Some of my favorite is feel smooth. I got it down. Yeah, once you get it down, it does feel really, really good. But the initial process of getting it down is difficult. It just is really, really rough. But once you get it down, it's fine. Assassination, I would say, is even easier. However, Rogue is kind of bugged. Like, literally a portion of our mechanics does not work. If you play the Fatebound Rogue, you know how you can, like, flip a coin. It's either the heads or tails. Head's supposed to be like a damage amp. That damage amp does not work, apparently. Yeah, the rogues have been cooking in the logs. Looking at the numbers and we're like, something ain't adding up. Just something is not adding up like it's supposed to. And it looks like the whole, like, heads, or, yeah, the heads mechanic, the one that gives you a damage amp, the damage amp doesn't work. Only, like, whatever the stacks that you get from heads, that works. So at most you can get, like, 2%, 4%, 6%, 8% damage amp, but with stacks, you don't get the initial, like, 8% that you're supposed to get with the coins, which is supposed to be, like, 8 plus 1 stack, 10. But yeah, you're just missing that 8 completely. It is bad. And that's been apparently a bug since this season started. And we're just figuring it out now. So yeah, if you sim your rogue recently and you're an outlaw, or if you're Fatebound, or if you're assassination Fatebound, which is the fun build, honestly, and you see your damage went down, nothing you did. It's just they're accounting for that bug. So little things like that, right? If they were to fix it, that would be wonderful, but we're rogues. You're just gonna have to wait, bro. We're not the kind of class that gets priority and that kind of stuff. If it were mages, maybe another story. If it were maybe hunters, another story, because I feel like those guys get fixes. Sometimes necessary, sometimes not necessary. I got very lucky this year on your mount, the first attempt. That is crazy. I need some of that luck, my guy. I need that. Can I borrow it? How's your nectar going? I finally got Emma Pearson, dude! Hold on. Let me pause the music for a second. I finally got Emma Pearson. So happy. I was running it over. Dude, bro, don't get into this new Diablo season. It's fun, but man, you're gonna be gambling, dude. You're gonna be running run after run after run after run. I was not happy. Let me get some variety music in here, yeah? Bro, I finally got Ebon Piercer pants, the Chaos Unique. So now I'm set. My build is ready. And it actually feels so strong now. I just walk in, pop a potion, hold right click, and bosses die. So if I go by myself, bosses melt. So now I'm just farming uniques. I already got the helm, which is exactly what I needed. I just need the chest piece. So we'll see how that's gonna go. But like with uniques, it's been abysmal. Really, really, really bad. But it feels pretty good to play. I'll say you want to manage to get instead. What do you get? What is that? 45? Yeah, that's some crazy 45. I don't think I have that much health. How do you have 100,000 health? What is that number? I have like 12 or 16,000. I don't even know. Somewhere around that number. But yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. With allowing engineers to install elevators in player houses. Yeah, I am open to a lot of budget doodads for you to be able to collect within a player home, man. That is, I don't know how much of this deep dive is going to be on just housing. I think it's just going to be all the systems, but I'm pretty sure they're going to talk a lot about housing. You know what I noticed when they talk about housing? Every time they bring up a new article or a new display or a teaser for housing, like, I think the community initially heard, oh, housing coming out. Yeah, we've seen garrisons. That's not going to be that good. But I feel like every single time they show off something new with housing, people get more excited. And more excited. And more excited. Like this feature, continues to blow past people's expectations, which is probably the best thing, the best case scenario for them, honestly. That's probably the best situation they could be in, is having that feature be Night Elf? Is a Night Elf supposed to be an Orgrimmar? Is that normal? I just noticed that. Has that always been a thing? Huh? Push pit 105 and 5 moments remaining. I have not done pit in no second. I was gonna go back here on my evoker and try to see if I can do another chow down. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'll go back at the evoker. I'm gonna try to see if I can just get through all the Brewfest quests so I can get my trading post done in a single sitting. It's gonna be better. Player housing has to be. Yeah, no, everything they've showed off about it so far looks really good. Player housing actually looks pretty hype. I'm not somebody who was excited about WoW player housing. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna get off. And I'm just gonna go grab a fresh barrel. Because if I can do this whole run without like hitting anything, you only just do it once. You just gotta go back to the top. I wonder if I can actually skip all of this and just like take a route without any of the barrels or anything for me to dodge, so I could just like not think. But every time they post stuff about player housing, I actually get excited. And I was about to say that as somebody who doesn't really care about housing, I actually do. I actually do get into it. Like Wildstar and Rift. A little bit that me and Kren played over Rift just for funsies. We were playing the game and the gameplay was kind of fun, but then as soon as we like saw what housing is like and started making a home together, that's it. Then we started spending a lot. We didn't really play a lot in the game. We didn't invest a lot of time into it. But whatever money we earned while leveling and questing and doing dungeons, all went to the house. We didn't care about getting levels. We just cared about getting a little bit extra, what, silver, gold, just to buy more decoration for the house. So it actually just took that became our end game without really hitting end game. But we stopped caring about the game completely. So as somebody who's like, I really don't care about housing, the real reason why I'm mentally prepared to not care about housing is because I might get sucked into it too hard, and that's all I care about. And I want to care about a game for more than just like one singular feature. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's 100 tokens on a single character, and that's a bunch of this stuff done immediately. Let me go get Pink Alex. So excited. Same. I'm hoping to show off a bunch. Showing off all your road trains. I'm like, yeah, I am hoping they add armor stands and you can equip them with your brand box. Yes, dude. I'm gonna put on the primal set from Warlords of Draenor, PvP set season 1 for rogues. I don't have the helm, but I have every other piece. So I want to display that whole thing on like a mannequin. That'd be so awesome. That'd be so good. Imagine if you could get a mannequin, pose him however you want it in one of the different animations and freeze him, and then outfit him. I'd have that set and any other set that I'm super excited about. I'd like to just have like an armory where weapons are and just put like challenge mode weapons all throughout the house. All the mage tower ones. Yeah, and if you can get like any mounts like in a stable or whatever, I would just have the spell tome chilling there or something. Or I don't know, any mount that I'm proud of. Time Lost Proto. I'm gonna just have the Time Lost Proto chilling there. The one that I thieved, the one that I stole, swooped in. I'm lowby, they're lowby, but they're low health, so it is stabby. I gave them British treatment. That lot style. What song is this? Not digging it for some reason. I need this and pink elephants. Give him the London special. Yeah. No, seriously, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the housing. Not a feature that I was like looking forward to, but it is good. And I think it's good for WoW to actually have some kind of like good features like that. You know? Because at least the game is evolving. It's a different game. So I think it's good. I'm really hoping they'll talk about class changes in particular. I'm really worried about class stuff. I think everything about Midnight, from like the themes, the zones, the housing, Demon Hunter spec, Apex talents on paper are really good. Hero talent expansion also on paper really good. But like, I really want to see like the nitty-gritty class changes to really be sealed. Do I have the deal be sealed? You know what I mean? I would show off my glazers and expensive mounts. Yeah. I'm hoping like as a hunter you could have like a stable where your pets are. And as a warlock, I'm hoping you could do like some kind of like a warlock like area where you could have your demons chilling. Because imagine like you could have like, if you ever been to Silvermoon and there's like a little, I want to call it a boudoir, but I'm pretty sure it's not a boudoir. But it's like there's like sheets draped all around. Oh, if you go to Black Temple and you go to like the succubus area, right? And it looks all fancy with like silk everywhere and pillows and beds and there's succubus all around. I'm hoping you could do that in your home and have like just your succubus bed chilling there as well. You know what I mean? So it's like a real coven. There goes the mount. Yeah, that's the mount that I haven't gotten yet, dude. I've been trying for it, man. I've been trying. So far, nothing, unfortunately. And I think I did, for the most part, all the quests on this guy. Let me go plug in my tokens. Let me also go, let me do a delve or two on my rogue, because I actually get some gear I could upgrade. And I need to get my weeklies out of the way too. I have a couple of coins I can maybe buy like a mog or two. Tinker class. So for Midnight, I know they're not doing a Tinker class, but I do think any class they do in the future, a Tinker would at this point be like, come on, it's about time. It's about time. I feel like, because they've done Evoker, which came out of left field, dragons and all that. That's cool. But a Tinker at some point needs to be a thing. I feel like they talked a lot about like, let me see if I can find something here. I'm gonna see if I can find an article real quick. There was an interview that Preach did with Blizz, and there was something about like object permanence that they're looking to potentially implement into a world, into zones when it comes to open world events. And they're using basically the house tech for it. And there's something interesting to said here specifically. So this is just an overview by Wowhead. Farm Blizzard changing, WoW's future, world lag. I think it was like yeah, there it is. So they're talking about WoW's future. Some of the buildings incrementally, some of that is building incremental things like the past, making garrison seamless instance, so that's unique decorations and building placements can be seen from across world zones. The same innovation allows players to walk past each other's home, to talk about the housing, and see how they decorated the yards. Despite each house being a personalized instance, the tech that's gone into the housing has incredibly powerful foundation that can be used down the line in the future user-generated content. What if in the future, instead of placing a table or a painting, you're putting down a persistent trap or a turret? I don't know if you can see it, maybe my head is covering. You're putting down a persistent trap or a turret. And this just made me think like, that's an interesting word choice. Maybe they mean like a totem, right? Because that's like a searing, remember searing like totems, searing totem? It would just be like a turret that would just shoot fire by itself. But like besides Hunter, nobody else puts down traps. And nobody puts down turrets in the game. Unless you count like maybe the Arcane Mage or Fire Mage Phoenix, that's a turret in a way. Right? It stands there and just shoots by itself. But like, that's made me think like maybe Tinkerer? Maybe that's them hitting a slight like nudge at Tinkerer before the Diablo Demon Hunter Rogue, which uses turrets. Yeah, maybe. What if, man? What if, bro? Totally meant gun turret. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like a gun turret. Like, why would they talk about a turret? Unless they're potentially developing a Tinker and they just want to slide that in there. Unless gonna make turrets, lol. Bro, at this point, like, if an Outlook made a turret, I would take it though, bro. I would take it. Instead of having a little dinky little pistol or a blunderbuss. Just give me a turret, dude. Just give me an M16. Let me throw a grenade in there, right? Let me put on a combat vest and just get like full combat gear. Can I just go full Rambo, right? Grab Keyshawn's like sash on his head, the red one. Grab a turret, rip it off the hinges, and just walk with it. You out, rogue. Give me a barrage, but make it every one of my abilities a barrage. Open a cloak that is a back-mount turret. That'd be cool, actually. That'd actually be really, really cool. Yeah, like a engineer-looking goblin type of tech turret. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of sick, actually. I think that'd actually be kind of sick. Yeah. Cannon Barrage back. Bro, Cannon Barrage's ability was not good, unfortunately. It was cool that you had cannons falling from the sky, but it didn't have like a pirate ship, ghostly thing, nothing. It was just like ghostly pirate ship shoots cannonballs from a distance. But like, by itself, it just looked like just some cannonballs are dropping in front of you. And it did very little damage. It was useless. It was in place, and it was long ass cooldown. It was absolutely, yeah, hot dog water, yeah. Hot dog water. It was awful. Like, I get it. Like, get off my lawn. What's up, Shadow? How you doing, fam? Off your lawn? Hold on. I'll get off your lawn. There we go. Off the lawn. If this is lawn, then this is lawn. This is not off the lawn, right? What was it that I was gonna go on? I think I was gonna go on the Evoker and try doing the Eat Me game. Because I still trying to get the trophy for the Eating Me game. I need to be doing it more regularly. I also want a tank spec that is a mech suit. If they did do a tinker, I think bare minimum that I have to do is some kind of like a mech suit for a tank spec. Even if it's cooldown, kind of like a metamorphosis for Demon Hunter. Bare minimum. Bare freaking minimum. Alright, chat, we got like what, 20 minutes or so? Almost 20 minutes? This song was hard. Good morning. Dude, it's 11:36 for me. I have not streamed this early in a very long while, but this is going to be my only stream for the day. I'm not going to have like an evening stream. Checking in. Ain't no way he's doing a checking in, right? Anybody doing it? Because I need a trophy. Oh, hey, if you're doing it, then I'll do it too. Maybe more people will join us. Because now I know the tech how to do this. Wait, one more. One more. I know the tech now. This should made a tinker, which is melee DPS, range DPS healer. Yeah, I think at this point, Blizzard might just want to steal their idea. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, on one hand, it's like, yeah, you're stealing their idea, but they're also stealing your game, so, you know. But they have cool ideas about classes. Like, even if they're not, like, fully functional or balanced, like, there's some cool ideas at the very end. And at the end of the day, that's what Blizzard came from, is took an idea that existed, refined it, made it their own, and made it better. So they could literally do that. They could literally do that. You know? I'll give this like a minute. If nobody runs up, then we're just gonna go do something else. 21 class server is fairly balanced, weirdly. Is it actually though? I assume, because I remember when I played, like, there's definitely some builds that were wildly better than others. And you couldn't really make every build work, unfortunately. There's some cool ideas and fantasies, but like all of them kind of like, only a handful of them were really, really good. First of all, like, you could play it and then be bottom DPS, like, but like you could play it. But yeah. So 21 classes. There's a whole new server 21, which classes including AUG like specs. Ah, okay. I see now. At least I think I see. Yo, one more person just join and then throw. One more person just join just to throw, so I can get myself a the token. Please. Maybe. You know what I should do? I should go open a vault, because I didn't get to do that yesterday. And I actually did a bunch of 12s on my alts. I actually got some score. I got KSM on my warrior too. Just doing it for fun. They should make my cat or a raid boss. I think it's only a matter of time until they have a cat raid boss with like cat mechanics. I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, they've done like a fish boss and you're literally underwater and just swam after it. And they've done like gimmick fight before him. So imagine you get like... Actually, I feel like Undermine would have been a really good time to have like a mechanical cat boss and you could do like a mechanical laser pointer turret. And like when the boss enrages, you have to use a laser pointer to get the cat to run around until it gets exhausted and then it's like take more damage. That would have been the perfect time. I can't imagine them doing that as like I feel like Undermine should have been like the gimmick raid, the entirety of it, except for like last two bosses. Galley was not the hardest, but it was alright. Mugsy was pretty difficult. One on Banner was, I thought it was okay if you want a difficult team. The rest of the bosses should have just been like, they could have just not done Sprocket Monger because that guy was annoying. It just done like a cat gimmick fight. Speaking of fish, the need an upgrade. The fishing professional need to do more with it. Yes, I agree. They have like a Hollow Fall fishing derby, but like it's only on Saturdays. But yeah, they do need to do more stuff with fishing. Like revamp fishing, giving people something to do. I think last time fishing had any kind of update that was like worthwhile was Legion, where you could get an artifact weapon fishing rod. And it had traits. And if you actually unlocked all of them, you could become like a fish in the water and swim faster. Like it was actually usable, and last time they actually put an effort into fishing. Maybe like they had someone for BFA, Shadowlands, maybe some quests, some cosmetics, but like I haven't seen anything in a while. Is nobody joining this? Too early, huh? Yeah, Arclight, whatever it's called. Yeah, I never got it at the time. And this seems like a waste, unfortunately. Let's see what we get in the vaults. Playing Dev, by the way, was a lot of fun because of playing with some homies, helping them get some gear or whatever. But I like Prez too much. Prez is a lot of fun. Prez is a lot of fun, especially in raids, dude. Prez is insane. Just spam echoes. Big firebed. Engulf. What am I trying to do? This. And... I don't think I have Chris Mastery, actually. I wish I got that on my rogue. I wish it was Warbound. President plus dirty. It can do a lot of damage. It can definitely do a lot of damage. Take 50 minutes, I'll be back. Alright, sounds good. I cannot do 50-minute snaps. Ah, okay. I don't think I won the weapon, do I? Or do I want a weapon, Jake? What do you think? Because that is a mythic weapon. Because eventually I could upgrade the Vagabond's Bounty Baton. Or maybe I should just wait until I get the shard glass weapon. There might be a token of merit angle. You know, plus 10, 610, 690. Yeah, it's not that difficult. Once you get a cheer set in particular, right, you pop the tip the scales and you can just living flame over and over. Aren't you gonna do 2 out of 8 mythic? Not on this guy. Maybe eventually, but not on this guy, no. But eventually I probably could, yeah. Probably could bring this guy to 2 out of 8. So yeah, shard glass could probably work there, and I'll just pick up a token of merit. I don't think I can do anything with it right now. I'm looking for 1 gold, but I'll probably... Yeah. Which part of mythic stuff is better than anything in the game? Ideally, yes. Unless you just do M+. Unless you just do only M+. And then it will be better that way. I have a lot of haste. Probably need more, but I have a lot. Kind of nice. Alright, so nothing really good on this guy. I'm hoping maybe Warrior gets something good, because I did do a bunch of keys. Hoping to get a weapon. Like a big-ass two-hander. Like a massive two-hander. A mythic two-hander, so I could just put all my gildeds into. Something that's a haste mastery, hopefully, potentially. Maybe, possibly. Ring. Oh, that's apparently the biggest pickup that I can get is this ring right here. Apparently this thing is the biggest, like 100k DPS. So that gave me carved. And that character is 707 just like that. Oh, it's so good feeling. That is so good killing. Yeah, make sure I'm arms. Give him a Warlock up 17, 20 inch after a turbo. Crafting my weapons so I can buy staff for the first week. Yeah, that'd be huge. The neck is really good though. Haste Mastery is huge. It's a lot of haste though. But, or I could go Mythic boot. Mythic Pants probably is better, isn't it? Yeah, Mythic Pants probably better. Because then I can always craft a Mastery heavy neck. Or just a Mastery neck and have it be at least a little heavy on Mastery. Yeah, so let me go get the pants and get them catalyzed and all that. So that is going to be a big, sizable enough pickup. I still have a couple of crafted pieces that I need to get. And I guess I could also do the helm. Because that is a socket. And eventually I will be able to get like Mythic Helm. And I probably should hold the charge, but we'll be able to earn charges and turbo boost anyway. So I feel like an upgrade now is probably going to go a long way. I need to up it until I need to spend any more. And I need... What else can I up? For some reason it's letting me up the weapon, which I don't really know why. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's letting me up my weapon, to be honest. I have no idea. For some reason it's letting me. I don't think any of my other alts did anything specific this week. Maybe my hunter? Possibly. Oh yeah, I did a Raz and stuff on the hunter, didn't I? On heroic. I actually, that Araz run, we ended up using that for demon hunters. So honestly, I might need to do the same this week as well. So we can get another demon hunter kill on heroic, just for more boots. I finally hit a regular trillions, by the way. Yeah. Looks like cold seeing levels of 45 glyphs and my levels. Dude, I'm so behind on glyphs. I finally unlocked my final paragon board and I got my final glyph in. I still need a pump up a couple more levels, but then I'm going to be set. Definitely set. I am excited. I just need one mythic unique, which is the chest with stats that everybody goes for. But at the very point where I'm at right now, like I just need to get more boss kills and just do more content. But I'm so happy I don't need to grind any more chaos stuff. It's gonna feel so nice. I actually think this trick is probably the best choice, right? Pole arm is good, but I think the trick is probably going to be this here, yeah? Compared to my Gut and Sky Essence Gorger. Attacks have a high chance to unleash cosmic outside, dealing cosmic damage unless it cleaves. Probably good, right, Jake? Probably good. Awesome. Awesome. I don't know if it's good. If it was a rogue, that thing is good. But also my rogue got the claw, so apparently it looks like anything that does damage, like immediate damage, is really good for my rogue. So I'm just gonna sim find out. I'd sim, I don't trust that trinket. No, it's pretty good on my rogue, but I don't know about other classes. I just have no idea. Also, the deep dive very, very soon. I think in like the last 5-10 minutes, I'm just gonna switch over to the WoW channel. And we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I am excited. How long do you think it's gonna last? Probably like an hour, right? Maybe? I know, it's good. It's like not a crazy amount of gear damage, but you know, 6k. It's item level 2, so that's good. I'll take it for the time being. Damage wise, my damage is awful on this character. I need a little bit more work. So sad that Rogue is so bugged, man. Actually, so tragic that Rogue is bugged. Really? Yeah, with Scream apparently is the play. I'm gonna up that. I have gildeds, but I feel like I should save my gildeds for more crafted items. How many crafters can I do? I should be able to do like one more, and I'm like this close of being able to get it done. My first time was back out. BM was weird, but 9 millish. Yeah, BM is really good right now. A lot of people switching over to BM too. So I actually have one. I do have this enchanted ethereal crest, so I might just spend one gilded crest and then one ethereal crest and just craft like probably like a Nerubian embellishment on like a brace or something, and then spend my gilded crest on maybe a belt or something, or a ring. I'll need to see what seems the best, but I don't even know what my best stats are in BM either. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be like putting on points into. What's up, Cross? New doing the vault stuff now. It's hard for me to understand what's good that I have my tier set. Are the stats just somewhere better and that's what I want to look forward to? Or am I rolling the vault for legendary weapons or something? No, the vault, in a vault you can't get legendary weapons. Based on the content that you done that week, you could potentially get like bonus rewards for the weeklies, right? So as you kill bosses over a week, you can get more slots within your vault. You can't get any legendary items this season. No classes have any legendaries, and usually when you do have some kind of legendary quest chain for like a season or whatever, like Evokers during their expansion, they had some legendaries that you could pick up. Play classes with Fairlath was an axe from Farak. You could get that as a strength class, but it's usually a quest that you have to work towards. It's not something you can just loot. In Vault, the more raid bosses you kill, the more chances of additional loot from those raids you can get. The higher difficulty, the higher the item level. So if you fill in something like heroic, you potentially get heroic pieces from either boss you killed, or if you killed all the bosses, it's any random loot drop. You just add an additional bonus that you can pick up at the start of a week. So doing dungeons, you could potentially roll more stuff in here. Doing raids, you could potentially roll more raid gear. It's like a bonus item, but it encourages you to fill out the vault. So do your raids, kill your bosses, do as high of a difficulty as you can. Or if you just want to focus on like Mythic Plus, you can either do like, I'm gonna just do a couple of bosses on Heroic, I'm gonna do one Mythic Plus and a couple of Delves, and that's it, you fill up your vaults. Or you can just do all Mythic Plus if you don't want to raid your Delves, just all M Plus and grind it out. It's up to you. You also get those tokens, like even if nothing is good, you can also get those tokens, and that can become an additional extra spark or a fragment of spark. So you can potentially get more crafted pieces. Crafted pieces you can at least guarantee that an item you're creating is going to be really good for your class. Good morning, Dal. What's up, Worthless? So what do you usually consider when taking from the vault? Eye level? Not always, depending on the class. I want to see if I have any other character that has done a weekly vault that I can like showcase you when I open it. I don't think I've done anything else in my alts though. There is my rogue, but like, did a warlock do anything? Did my paladin do anything? I feel like one of my characters might have done something this week, but I don't remember if any of them has a vault. Just so I can like showcase. But usually you either run it through like a sim website which simulates all the gear in like a PvE environment or whatever. You can always just run your character through a sim to see which one is going to be numerically the biggest upgrade for you. Or sometimes like if let's say there's a certain trinket that's like a best slot from theory crafting websites or whatever, or if you know your class pretty well. Like for rogues, for me, anything that gives me immediate damage as a trinket, or certain trinkets like Sagbrute, that's a consistent agility trinket for every agility class. It is consistent, it procs often, it's solid build stats, it is something that's always going to be available at all times. So that trinket has been good since the beginning of the expansion, and if I see that in a vault, that's probably a pretty good pickup. I can always sim it to find out if it's numerically the biggest upgrade, but in most cases it's going to be the most consistent option. Especially since I'm trying to hit a certain amount of haste, and now I can use a trinket because it gives a lot of haste, so now I can hit that haste and get a proper stats. Stuff like that. For me this week, this Incorporeal Warclaw simmed the highest, so I took that because this thing does a lot of 1 million arcane damage between all enemies in front of you. So like it's a random proc of just 1 million damage. This trinket is also really good because my class, because of high versatility, likes proc trinkets with raw damage. So raw damage, even boots with a cloak, that's also raw damage. All that tends to scale with versatility. Versatility is not a great stat for my class, just mastery sucks and I don't need crit. But versatility does have this like accident or benefit of all these things that give you a damage proc, also scale with that. Thanks for clearing it up. Yeah, there's no right answer across every single class. Every class and spec is a little different. Everybody's gonna have their own little like quirks regarding That. Yeah, so there's no specific one. How's everyone doing? What's up, Alex? How you doing, my guy? Getting ready for the deep dive, man. When you had personal loot, people complain about that. Bro, I feel like they need to bring back either choice of a raid. Personal loot or master looter. Let people choose. Or let people do the roles how we do. I feel like there should be 3 ways that you choose how to run your raid. And the raid leader decides it, and you can see off the bat like what kind of loot. Personal loot. And when you enter the group, it should tell you, hi, this raid isn't personal loot. Means every time you kill a boss, there's a chance you might get an item you need. Or be like, hey, this, you know, let people know what this raid is set to. Make it so that the lead can just like change it to a master looter and then ninja all the items from everybody. Like maybe give it like parameters like it has to be mostly a guild that's doing the run. Then you could do master looter or stuff like that. Or like outside of that, it should be like master looter. Bonus rolls I think should come back, yeah. I think bonus rolls should come back. It's gambling, it's RNG, but I think people like to have it like having at least one extra chance, right? One bonus chance. When you didn't get what you wanted, just a bonus loot personal, see if you get it. I think that's what people want. You're just having that one extra chance. Early morning keys? Nope. Nope, not keys. Just the deep dive busyness. Deep dive. Can't spell, man. You know, bonus roll stack on the 33 in classic? Really? Weird. I stopped playing WoW. It's become a boring. Hope the expansion is gonna be better. Yeah, that's all we can ever hope for. Honestly. That's all you and I and all of us can ever hope for. Okay. I think it's about the time, chat, yeah? About the time to take the broadcast to the main screen. Where is it? Tune in. Let's see if it works over in the... Oh, yeah. It's about the time, boys. It's about that time. Alrighty, as we're getting into like last minute, what I'm gonna do is turn down the music completely. And I'm gonna let the stream play in the background. Or, yeah. I'm gonna turn it up so you guys can hear everything better. I'll try not to talk over everything too much. I'll probably be writing some notes, man. I probably should set up like a notepad. Here we go. Q&A at the end. Cool. So yeah, here we are. Will that be my Outlaw Rogue theme song? This even rolling the Hayden? Yeah, seriously. I am hoping to do some of the Outlaw Rogues. Roll the Bones may be a little outdated. It was a cool mechanic, but like I think they could keep the same feel, same style, but like not make it like cheeks to play. Or Elder Chums of Good Fortune. I forgot about those. I don't play Don't Judge Me. Oh, the gear? What do you get? Sunblood Amethyst and Sunblood Amethyst? What the hell? What the hell is that damage? 6.81 million? That's a lot of damage for a... What's the cooldown on that trinket? Is that good? Dirty gold making route? Gonna try one classic raid for 20k gold while deep diving going? Yeah, might as well. Might as well, yeah. 1.5 minutes for 6.1 million damage. Is it good? Hold on, what does it give you? 2.1 million shadow damage. From a font power and feet increasing it into like by 18,000 for 15 seconds. Is it a good trinket? What classes are 1.5 minute classes that use it though? As a caster. Maybe mage? I don't even know if mages are 1.5 minutes, are they? It's probably hot garbage on my boomy chicken. Oh, I mean, maybe you could like delay and use incarnate 1.5 minutes. Minute looks cool. Hope it'll be awesome. Same, Alex shows. Same. Yeah, what casters are 1.5 minute classes nowadays? I know that there's range like Hunter, but I don't know any intellect class. I mean, maybe Mage, but their cooldown reduction with what's it called? What's the word? Arcane. Are they actually though? Because I'm pretty sure, like, because I played Arcane with House of Cards back in season 2, and I felt like my House of Cards and Arcane power kind of desynced a little every time, like pretty regularly. And I played it correctly, but it just always has the desync. Not like a bigger for rating, otherwise I use double pass up. Oh, maybe like a fast mage is a 1.5 minute class. I'll probably get enough cooldown reduction with shifting power with pretty much a 1.5. Maybe, possibly. Yeah. All right, chat. Here we are. Oh, it's already loud. Okay, so it's already, I don't know how loud this is going to be, but I'm going to turn it up. Thank you all so much for joining me on this watch along for Midnight Deep Dive. I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to be reacting. I'm going to be a goofy goober. Hope you guys don't mind me. But yeah. Hope it'll be good, man. I'm hoping to actually go deep into some of the different systems. And not like, oh, we have Apex talents, and basically say, you know, stuff we already knew. Oh, we have housing. It's like, we knew that, Blizz. Oh, we have Apex talents. We knew that. Can you show us some? Could you show us some of the class changes coming up? Things like that. You know what I mean? There it is. Tell me if I need to make the stream or the video louder, quieter, all that. All right. I'm also hoping this is just a housing preview, and that's all it is. I'm hoping there's
everybody?
More. My man!
Here's the end of the war within, the first dramatic chapter of the World Soul Saga.
Oh, it's good to see
you.
you.
We've seen the adventure take us into the depths of the world.
My heart.
And even to worlds
I didn't expect
cast
it.
out in the great dark beyond.
It's so good to see him, man.
We've seen our villain Zalatath running around and amassing untold power.
Our beloved.
We've seen her siphon the energies of Dalaran, and even those of the black blood beneath Ajkahet. And recently, Zalatath assumed the power of the last Void Lord, Dimensius. So the question remains,
isn't she the last one
then? What will
then?
she do with all that power? And what are her intentions relative to our precious World Soul? So now, as midnight descends,
I get excited. I'm sorry.
And the second
Christmas
darker
is the best
chapter
thing
of
to
our
happen to
trilogy
WoW.
begins, Zalatath has returned to Azeroth, leading an army known as the Devouring Host, intent on snuffing out the light of the Sunwell and plunging the world into darkness. You, the heroes of Azeroth, will be set on a collision course with Zalatath to save not only Azeroth itself, but everything that is.
Tell me if it needs to be louder. I can short up. Alpha footage? Yo, hold on. I want to record this. How do I record this? I can't record this. Okay, crap. Log out completely. I need to record the thing.
Hi everyone. As we kick off our Midnight Alpha, we'd like to give you all a deep dive into what's in store. We want to recap everything we've shared so far, along with some brand new details. Today we're going to talk about the story of Midnight, as well as the zones, dungeons, delves, and raids that await if you want to save our world from Zalatath. We're also going to talk about some big new features coming in Midnight, like Prey and the Devourer Demon Hunter specialization. And of course, let's not forget housing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Classes.
And as always, thank you for being a part of this amazing community, for choosing to spend your time in Azeroth and with each other. Now, without further ado, let's see what's in store for our home away from home. After all, it's nearly midnight.
The void storm rages in the sky, a surging vortex of shadow and chaos. Zalatath has returned. Wielding the dark heart, she carves a path of destruction through once tranquil lands. Her all-consuming goal, devour the heavens, blot out all light, and bring about her midnight. It is in the shadow of this swirling storm that the defenders of Azeroth must rally once more. For peace, for the light, for the good. This is not a battle. It is a reckoning. At the Sunwell, that eternal bastion of light and hope, Lady Liadrin and Lorthemar Theron lead the Blood Elves as they prepare to make their final stand. Because across all worlds and all stories, one thing never changes. Home is worth fighting for.
Red Discord to the rescue.
Welcome to World of Warcraft Midnight. Your story begins on the Isle of Quel'Danas.
Looks so beautiful.
In the immediate aftermath of Xal'atath's invasion, the Sunwell surges with light, calling out to all heroes of Azeroth for aid, while the vile creatures of the Void wage a relentless assault in the hopes of extinguishing it once and for all. Flying monstrosities attack from darkened skies, and malign foes manifest without warning to wreak havoc across the plateau. Stand true with the champions of Azeroth as they mount a desperate defense against this invasion.
So for nothing
if the Sunwell falls, so too does the world. The defense of the Sunwell leads you directly into Silvermoon City. But not the one you know. The renewed light of the Sunwell symbolizes Silvermoon's revitalization, shining over a city fully restored to a thrumming, living capital. Familiar landmarks gleam with fresh polish, while new areas like the Sanctum of Light and the Garden of Remembrance offer countless nooks and stories to explore. Inside the city walls, the threat of Xal'atath's war draws the Alliance and Horde into wary cooperation, with shared spaces hosting common services like trainers, the auction house, vendors, and more. Around a third of the city remains off-limits to those under the Lion's banner, so the Alliance allegiant should tread lightly or risk being attacked on sight.
So you only get a third of the city just to yourself as a horde?
Outside the city walls, however, is where your role in the fight
Seems
against
like
the
little,
Void really begins to take shape.
Only a third is just for the horde.
The strength of the Sunwell infuses Eversong Woods with restorative energy, healing much of the damage of wars past and filling the zone with new growth and new life. All what you remember of this lush, thriving forest is here. But Eversong is also a reimagined landscape of increased scale and greater beauty. Most noticeably, the Ghostlands and Eversong Woods are now joined into one large zone, which is itself joined to the Eastern Kingdoms. Eversong's flourishing fluorescence is not without complication. Though the Sunwell's light is a boon to the environment, its surging power causes pockets of light bloom, small groves of light-enriched growth, to experience surges of their own. The light bloom's rampant propagation, if left unchecked, threatens to smother all life under an overgrown tangle. Your adventures through Eversong will have you investigating the light bloom, dealing with the aftermath of a Hawkstrider chick gone wild, helping a suspicious apothecary with questionable motives,
chocobo races in the
untangling the secrets of two feuding nobles, and even getting caught up in a sinister murder plot, alongside Magister Umbric as he works to crack the secrets of the Void.
Magister Umbric? Isn't that the Void Up guy?
How your story progresses beyond Eversong Woods, with 3 available paths you can tackle in any order. Brave the ancient troll kingdom of Zulaman, investigate the gnarled hidden roots of Harandar, or accompany Arator on his journey to better understand the light, the Void, and himself.
Looks pretty good.
Zulaman finds the Armani troll empire at one of its lowest points. The homeland of warlord Zul'jin, Zulaman was once a place where Loa bestowed to the Armani their godly strength, and were devoutly revered in kind. The temples still stand, weathered but proud. The eagle, the lynx, the dragonhawk, and the bear. Ascend wind-swept sky-scraping peaks, explore ruins shrouded in fog, traverse stormy wilds teeming with vicious beasts, and accompany Zuljara, granddaughter of Zul'jin, and the pragmatic pillar of strength now leading the Armani, as she seeks a means to save her people from Void-aligned cultists and the monsters they revere. The Amani are invaluable allies in the defense against Xal'atath's invading force. If you help them fight for their home, they will help you fight for yours. At the confluence of the world tree's roots lies an impossible primordial jungle known as Harandar. It is here that Azeroth's entire history wraps, twists, and braids, a literal entanglement of all that has been and all that will be. Harandar is a land of magical, powerful growth, fungal towers, glowing moss bridges,
good.
And entire
it reminds me a little bit of like the
Harandar's
greenery in
wild,
Warcraft.
organic fabrics. The pulsing heart of this knotted tangle is the cradle, once the domain of a nascent goddess, long vanished, and now the home of the Haranir, who have for generations lived secretly under its soothing light. The reclusive Haranir are a proud and insular people. They have long avoided interfering in matters of the world above, but Xal'atath's destructive ambition does not stop at the surface, and the Haranir can no longer afford the luxury of neutrality. There is another way you can help with the defense of Azeroth against Xal'atath's cruel machinations.
Back in Classic?
Accompany Eretor, son of Turalian and Aleria Windrunner, on a continent-spanning journey in the hopes of bolstering the Sunwell and strengthening the vanguard of the light. This story-driven adventure finds you traveling with Eretor as he searches for sacred relics and attempts to peel back the mysteries of the Void, all while grappling with his own relationships to his family and the light. Eretor's mission brings new experiences to familiar locations. Defend Light's Hope Chapel from an attack by Scourge forces. Fight through the darkened corridors of Scarlet Monastery to put to rest those who would pervert the light for their own nefarious gain, and work with Sunwalker Desco in Hammerfall to help Eretor in discovering the paladin he aspires to become. Eretor's story reaches its climax in the shadow of Blackrock Mountain, where alongside the Sons of Lothar, he must face the weight of his father's legacy and decide once and for all whether he is willing to rise to meet it. The raging center of an unraveling shadowy maelstrom and the epicenter of Xal'atath's power, Voidstorm overflows with violence, chaos, and hostility. Stormfields twist and fold its space. Gravity becomes untethered and tethers again. Insatiable void creatures known as Dominar stalk the storm, each one as unique and ancient as it is hateful and hungry. They carry on their eternal hunt for power under the black gaze of 3 enormous nexus points, hubs of the malicious dark energy Xal'atath draws upon to fuel her void spar and conduct her unyielding assault against the Sunwell. Join Azeroth's champions and the Void Elves in their quest to understand what powers this storm and stave off its approach. Though much of the world of Midnight lies in the ominous shade of the encroaching void, there is at least one refuge for the weary. The Arcantina. What began as a hidden sanctuary is now a not-so-secret tavern haven for Horde and Alliance alike. A big, cozy space filled by music, chatter, and life. If the void is the bleak and the cold, the Arcantina is its opposite. A warm spark in the heart of every patron.
It's like a social hub.
It is a place to gather with friends,
Housing
find
mate,
the
I thought so
perfect
too.
comfy sitting room, or just soak in the atmosphere of a well-traveled watering hole. As a crossway for people of all kinds, the Arcantina also serves as a source of new adventures. Familiar faces stop by here and there, spinning stories and offering quests that send you far across Azeroth in search of relics of the past. Follow the course they set for you to discover a fresh perspective on familiar locations. Xal'atath is determined in her destiny, an unrelenting foe with an army that never sleeps. But you can't live every moment in grim resistance. The Arcantina
Bro,
is
somebody fix his legs,
here.
man.
Should you find yourself in need
Cast a
of a
spell
little
on him, man.
respite.
Get him a healer. Holy moly. But it's showing us
The
basically
mysteries
everything.
of the origins of the void and the knowledge and power to stop it are not to be found only on the surface.
Khadgar, yeah.
For true deliverance,
I like
as
Khadgar.
always,
That looks sick as hell.
Labyrinths.
That looks sick as hell.
Temples, deadly ruins.
Nighthold?
These delves,
Nighthold.
dungeons and raids.
That's
are the real
Nighthold.
font of power.
Or
The
Archway?
sacred and defiled spaces from which
Whoa,
strength
are
is
these
not
the
just
dungeons?
earned,
This actually looks sick
but
as hell.
taken.
If these are the dungeons, these look awesome.
Across
Delves.
this void, darkened world,
Okay, maybe
hide
delves.
myriad
Look
delves
like Archway, didn't it?
overflowing with incalculable danger.
That's a delve?
Located on the Isle of Quel'Danas,
Yo.
Parhelion Plaza is an outdoor delve that drops you into the heart of the defense of the Sunwell. Fight against the surge of the Void's attack by restoring Parhelion's defenses.
There's Valeera.
Commanding an artillery of light, ducking into pocket dimensions and putting down Gladius Slana, a dominar who uses summoned Voidwalkers as weapons against your stand. Expect to plunge the depths of 9 other delves and 1 seasonal nemesis delve when midnight
First
launches.
nemesis. Conjure prosthetic
You
legs.
do not have to face these delves alone. Valeera Sanguinar is a powerful new companion with a rogue-minded approach to problem-solving. As a DPS, her killing spree ability has her moving through the shadows to lash out at multiple enemies. As a healer, she uses vampiric reaping to rip away the life force of enemies.
Healer
into
uses
orbs you can
vampiric
collect
healing.
to heal. And as a tank, she uses your first mistake to taunt and do damage over time to any enemy that turns their back on her to attack her ally. Valeera is also a prolific provider of poisons that, depending on her role, empower you with more damage, better avoidance, increased speed, and more. Your adventures in Midnight eventually
Interesting.
lead you down darker paths, paths that end in overgrown corridors and ruin-stricken relics.
Brand, basically better
forgotten
brand, yeah.
places of
She's a better
powers
brand.
best left unstirred.
It's basically the new brand, yeah.
Yet these dungeons promise plunder worthy of the peril, should you have the courage to overcome the
Don't
challenges
trust them on that.
within.
I'm excited for Valeera.
Windrunner Spire, the former residence of the Windrunner family, haunts the skyline of Eversong Wood's western shore. The strained relationship of its namesake sisters, Varisa, Sylvanas, and Ilaria, imbues its halls with a sullen, spiteful energy. The restless spirits bound to this animosity threaten all who draw near. Among these spirits walks the Windrunner's sole brother, Lirith, who needs your help in quelling this restlessness and clearing his once great home.
This is
of
probably going to be an
hate.
interesting one on the whole,
Serenity,
like,
however,
lower
is
angle.
not so easily claimed. There
Better
are
brand,
other
anything
forces
better than
that
him.
seek
Yeah.
dominion over this domain.
True.
Emberdawn, a fire-colored dragonhawk,
Ooh.
claims the dilapidated gardens of the spire as a nest for her young. She is
High
fiercely
quality, I like it.
territorial, answering intruders with both talon and flame. The derelict duo, comprised of the Banshee Callis and her loyal abomination Latch, lead a band of fanatical undead in a hunt for relics tied to Sylvanas. They meet outside interference with a mix of shadowy magic and brute strength.
Huh.
Commander Krolok, a merciless orc who oversaw countless conquests during the Second War that took Lirith Windrunner's life, stalks the spire with an insatiable bloodlust. Since being slain in
Better be a
vengeance
mount.
by Ilaria,
Seriously.
Krolok knows
I'm sure
only
there's gonna be.
torment and the desire to pass it on. The restless heart, a concentrated whirlwind of grief and suffering, born from the conflict of the Windrunner sisters, envelops all who remain in turbulent turmoil. This swirling specter takes the form of a ranger, combining the power of the wind with volleys of arrows to cut down the uninvited.
Number
Windrunner
spiders.
Spire was, at one point, a living embodiment of family and of legacy. With the help of Lirith and your allies, you can make it so once more. 7 more dungeons await
Let's
you
go dungeon.
in Midnight, each one crawling with the Cutthroat and the Craven.
That looks sick.
Magister's Terrace and Murder Row in
Oh,
Eversong Woods.
New Golem?
The Den of Nalarak
New Golem?
and Mysara Caverns in Zolaman. Blinding Vale in Harandar. And the Voidscar Arena and Nexus Point Zenith in
No, that
Voidstone.
better be like a Felguard. Something you can maybe
The
summon as a
most
warlock.
tyrannical antagonists of Azeroth work their dark deeds from within Midnight's 3 new raids. The Void Spire, where 6 bosses hold court over the heart of the Void, and muster against the amassing vanguard of the light as it readies to storm the walls of Xalatath's stronghold. The Dream Rift, where you must join in the hunt for an undreamt god that never should have been, and put down half-birthed abominations that lash out against existence itself. And the march on Quell Danas, an encounter still shrouded by the fog of war beyond the known presence of Dalaran, the void-corrupted phoenix, who stakes a ceaseless watch over the entrance to the chambers beyond. The void threatens to end all of Azeroth, to rend the world in the squall of a black tempest. But the extraordinary power it carries does provide opportunities to those heroes willing to embrace it. Devoured demon hunters bend the void to their will, ripping void fragments from their enemies and using them as the power source for cataclysmic spells. They are mid-range damage dealers, armed with a summonable void scythe, darting in and out of the fray as they dance on the line between control and chaos. Voidblade and Hungering Slash work in concert, dash into melee range to deliver a series of crushing void scythe attacks, then use Vengeful Retreat to escape the enemy's reprisal. You can also start this combo off with a void-charged The Hunt. Metamorphosis transforms you into a familiar state of cursed power. The more you feed it, the longer it lasts. Ride the wave of annihilation by tearing apart souls and staying alive.
Oh, that looks cool.
Reap is a sweeping scythe attack that consumes all of your soul fragments for one massive burst of damage. Use Void Ray to cut through enemies in a straight line and leave them smoldering. Collapsing Star channels the immense energy of a dying star, focusing it into one single destructive blast. The more you cast it during your Void metamorphosis, the stronger it gets. Demon Hunters also find themselves with new disciples in Midnight. Void Elves are sharpening their warglaives and joining the hunt. Newly awakened to the dire threat of Midnight, the Haranir join the fight for the surface as the next playable allied race. Haranir are deeply entwined with the organic world. Theirs is a culture shaped not by cities or by
Midnight Alpha
conquest,
to see some of
but
them
by the roots,
in person.
the stones, the quiet pulse of the deepest breath of the world. Their armor, their weapons, their skin, all are infused with the inner light of organic power. Even the mightiest primordial predator in Harandar knows to fear the telltale luminescence of a Haranir's markings in the dense jungle brush. They
so far,
are
nothing
primal,
new specifically, except for the dungeons
hunters,
and
a force of nature unto themselves, who possess the racial
in the
ability
zones.
to travel along the roots of the world from Harandar to any world tree, or from anywhere back to Harandar. Haranir are versatile warriors who can choose from a wide range of paths, including those of the warrior, hunter, rogue, priest, shaman, mage, warlock, monk, and druid. The last of which has all new forms that reflect the Haranir's
this looks so
unique
cool.
connection
Owl!
to those hidden parts
Boom
of the
can
earth.
form. Hell yeah. Yeah, Honey Badger, dude. Honey Badger don't give a shit. That's literally got the Honey Badger.
Run out of Silvermoon City by Astalor Bloodsworn, a blood elf with what some might call a colorful past.
That's new.
Astalor is after one thing: anguish.
Yeah, they look cool, actually.
Magic siphoned from Azeroth's deadliest threats, and he's offering generous compensation to heroes who are courageous or foolhardy enough to go chase it. Astalor's lair in Murder Row is your base of operations for Prey, the place where you pick your targets, track your progress, and collect your rewards, including cosmetics, mounts, titles, and housing items. The deeper you go, the harder the challenges, and the more you unlock. Prey has 3 difficulties. Normal, which serves as an introduction to the system, along with offering plenty of challenge. Hard, where the ambushes get meaner and the encounters more intense. And Nightmare, which is just about the fastest way to gain intimate knowledge of Midnight's many new and scenic graveyards. Prey can ambush you at any time, whether you're questing, exploring, or minding your own business. Each time you defeat your target, you increase your advantage by tiring them out and buying time to find whatever dark hole they're hiding in. Higher difficulties incorporate torments, personal afflictions that only impact you. Torments cause a wide range of effects, like creating an AoE damage puddle under recently deceased foes, or haunting you with a bloody spirit that deals lethal damage when it catches you. A torment can also manifest in the form of
Is it
astrol's
2%?
impatience, forcing you to make a kill within a specific time limit before Astrolor
looks cool as hell.
simply extracts his payment from you.
It's all got character. Our
Prey
team did a great
targets
job.
are all different, and all deadly. Magister Sunbreaker, a disgraced blood elf whose reckless magic is a threat to Silvermoon and everyone near it. High Vindicator Vareem, a zealot who believes the void can only be defeated by covering the entire world in holy flame, and is ready to put that belief to the test. Executor Canius, a sadistic dominar whose primary hobby is murdering anyone foolish enough to challenge his martial prowess. Prey is a way to add excitement, unpredictability, and challenge to your journey through midnight. But be warned, there's a reason Astrolor isn't chasing these targets himself. For those who tread the worn paths and soaring skyways of Azeroth, it is more than a world, more than story.
There it is, boys.
Or conflict.
This is what everybody wants to see.
Azeroth
Housing.
is, and always will be, home. Housing in Midnight is dedicated to that ineffable feeling of being part of something bigger, of something greater, of living a real life as a true part of a real world.
Oh.
Housing in WoW is built to give you boundless self-expression in the place you call yours. Collect hundreds of decorations and dive deep on customization. Place, rotate, scale, and move items to your heart's content. This is more than changing a coat of paint or choosing a different picture frame. It's a sandbox for your imagination.
I like the lighting
Warcraft
feature.
has
That
over
looks great.
2 decades of content,
Because this looks
and the
stale,
time
but the
you've
lighting
spent
can
in
definitely
Azeroth
make
over
things
the
lived
years
in.
will
Look at
yield
that.
a bounty of
Everything looks
housing
kind of lame,
rewards.
but then that corner looks amazing.
Milestones like
That
completing
lighting,
your
though, dude.
Legion Order Hall
That
campaign,
lighting.
or finishing completionist achievements like Back to the Beyond, will award housing items post facto. You'll also earn decor through dungeons and raids, reputation vendors, achievements, quest lines, housing endeavors, the auction house, holidays and live events, and crafting. All professions from all expansions can craft decor. Search the world for lumber, a new gathering resource, and use it to craft decorations that can be bought and sold on the auction house. Many housing-specific items can be dyed, giving you greater control of the finer details of decorating. Imagine your dream home. Collect and craft the decor to bring it to reality. Then tweak it until it is just
Here's a throwback, basically, yeah. I didn't realize you would have to go out and get materials.
Rotate and stack rooms to create multi-floor structures. A variety of room types and shapes are available, including normal squares and rectangles, L and T hallways, as well as some more fantastical configurations. Advanced mode takes the toolset even further, allowing you to adjust each piece of decor exactly
That's 2 people decorating the house.
Rotate, float, scale, and more to make your home
Can you
a
decorate with a
perfect
friend?
reflection of your taste.
That's cool if you can.
And
I don't know if they
that's
said it was
just
going to
the
be able to.
inside. The outside of your house is also customizable. Place your home how you want it on your plot. Add fountains, statues, planters, and more. Change out your windows. Pick the perfect chimney. Add a tower. And decide on the door of your dreams.
Saw a lot of that
Exterior
in the
plots also
teaser.
have the same advanced mode as interiors for even more modification. At Midnight's official launch, you'll have a choice between exterior themes based on orcs, humans, blood elves, and night elves.
These are good.
These aren't just skins. They're full architectural styles with unique customization options. Orc homes feature hide rooftops, bonfires, and rugged surfaces. Human homes are rustic, with sturdy stone walls, warm wooden floors, and colorful banners. Level up your house to unlock more flexibility. New rooms and floors, bigger house sizes, increases in the number of spots for decor, and more. Every house is in a shared zone known as a neighborhood, where you and others can show off your homes, build community, and participate in rolling challenges to earn housing rewards. Neighborhoods feature a wide variety of biomes,
That hut, yeah, exactly.
from spooky forests and
I like those
coastal
spooky
plains
forests.
in Founder's Point to lush oases and windswept bluffs in razor-wind
I
shores.
like going my home in a
All
human
contain
neighborhood.
different kinds of plots.
Alliance neighborhood.
Some are secluded and quiet, While others are clustered for the socially vibrant.
My phone, but I'll be
Your
right
neighborhood
back
is faction-coded in its aesthetics, but not faction-exclusive in its residency. You have the choice between two types of neighborhood. Private neighborhoods where guilds or groups of friends can form their own space. Public neighborhoods where you'll find a home among friends you haven't met yet. Private neighborhoods come in two varieties. Guild neighborhoods, which scale to fit your guild roster, and charter neighborhoods, which are capped at 50 homes and are perfect for tight-knit communities. Endeavors are monthly neighborhood-wide activities that bring everyone together to complete tasks, unlock themed decorations, and contribute to helping your neighborhood evolve. Participate in endeavors to earn House XP and community coupons that give you access to exclusive decor. Above all, housing is designed to help you find your perfect space and transform it to your own fantasy haven. To create your own home, sweet home.
And there you have it. Thank you so much on behalf of the entire World of Warcraft team for joining us for this overview of Midnight. And if after what you just saw, you can't wait to get your hands on housing, don't worry, because it's coming your way if you have Midnight in early December of this year. Thank you again, and we'll see you in Azeroth.
Friends, we hope you've enjoyed this deeper look at Midnight. But as you can see, this fight is far from over. The drums of war thunder once again, and Azeroth needs her champions, now more than ever.
All right, well, that was great to miss towards the tail end. I was watching it from my phone the entire time. I'm a little disappointed we didn't see anything with class stuff whatsoever. But there's supposed to be a part 2 for this as well. There's supposed to be a their own Q&A. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. It's supposed to be. Do they not have like a link for it? Or do I need to find it on YouTube specifically? Weapons of Order coming back to fucking charges. Your Weapons of Orders came back with charges. Wait, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Gonna get some food? Yeah, go for it. I do want to see the Q&A too, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions there as well. Join us for Midnight Q&A. There it is. Oh, that's coming out in 8 minutes. Okay. So there's going to be a Q&A chat. I do want to watch that as well. Alrighty, I do want to watch that as well. Can I get some good tavern music for WoW? While we wait. Yeah. So I do want to watch the Q&A as well. I wanted to see more when it comes to classes. I wanted to see more when it comes to Apex Sounds, but they gave us nothing on it. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit disappointed, chat. I wanted to see more. But that's okay. I'm assuming those things are just not ready. At least for the alpha, because those are not coming out in the alpha until way later. Until a couple of phases. Which I'm assuming like are weeks. 2 weeks maybe? I don't know how long they're going to be. But yeah, not ideal. Look at General Show doing Walker Cooldown Manager. Did they actually? Came back with charges. Oh, okay. Hold on. So I can, you mean like go back? Okay. Maybe I can find it real quickly. I'll let the stream play. But I'm gonna see if I can find the deep dive again.
To create your own.
Yeah. Okay. This is what you're looking at, right? Slays Right Battlegrounds. What we could tell about classes. I guess we could just take a look at whatever they can. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Why did YouTube be doing this? I don't want to show it. But okay, cool. Okay, cool. I just want to be able to pause uninterrupted. Okay, chat, look at this. Hold on. Is the Evoker tier set actually going to be baseline? Wait, real quick. Watch with this. Watch with me. Okay, see the Evoker flying up in the air? Squadrons. This right now is the tier set for 11.2. Is that tier set becoming baseline for the commander? Is that what's happening? Because look, you got 2 Evokers on the side. That means they're joining him in. That's a tier set. I guess it's becoming part of the hero talents, isn't it? And then it looks like it's a rogue, potentially. Priest got some Void Shield. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2 charges on the Weapons of Order, and it's coming back for what looks like Windwalker. Windwalker's getting Weapons of Order, it looks like. You're right. 2 charges of Weapons of Order. You still got Thunderfist. I am not seeing a I can't tell what he is. Is he a looks like he is the what is it, the fist? The Shadow Pan? Yeah, look, 2 charges, you're right. All the abilities are about the same. I hate how they have, like, what is it, the writing and the warband stuff here instead of abilities. But then then again, they're using the 1-button manager, so for the rotations. They're just getting hit by stuff. Dead. Death cap. Improved death cap. Okay, well, hopefully it's better. Yeah. Glad I picked that up instantly. You're right, yeah. Okay, so let me move over into the Q&A because they're getting ready for that right now. Here we are. We're double checking. Yeah. Here we go. Nice. Doves are bad? As a feature? Or you just don't like delves specifically? Or... search. Here we go. Okay, cool. I think I have it written down. Yeah, just mewing. Yeah, basically. Season 1 Mythic Plus full rotation revealed. Wait, they actually have a full rotation of the dungeons for Season 1? Oh, shit! Magistus Cheras, Mysis Caverns, Nexus Point, and Windrun Spire. Algathar Academy making a return, baby! Wait! Pinasaron? Wrath of a Lich King dungeon as a Mythic Plus? No way! Let's go! I am excited for that. Holy moly, dude. Yo, Cedar Triumvirate is a big stinker, but everything else is fine. Yeah, Cedar Triumvirate is stinker, Skyreach is interesting, Algathar was a banger, Pinasaron is interesting. I want more of it. Wait, they have them? They have them. They have a list. Yep, they have the new talents. Hold on, they actually have new talents. Bro, they do. Hold on, they don't have all the abilities. Like, oh, they have them. They have them. Yep, Wowhead has them. Wowhead has the new talents. That is the rogue class challenge. It's not that different. Not that different. Okay, not that different. Deathstalker? Fatebound? Yo, wait, wait. Wait. Row heads increase damage, so that's still the same. Okay, Trickster, Assassination, Outlaw. Yo, wait a second. Wait a second, dude. Wait a second. Wait, this is different looking, isn't it? Hold on a second. Sub? Yo, what is this? Wait, why is Natural Swiftness and Subtlety? Okay. Astral Shift and Subtlety? Wait, that's a Shaman. Oh, Rogue Subtlety not found. Subtlety not found. That's how good of a rogue it is, dude. That's how good of a rogue it is, not found. That's how good it's not found. Hero Talent Subtlety Rogue not found. That's how you know rogues are. That's how you know it's a good rogue. That's how you know it's a good rogue. Alrighty, dude. Okay, they actually got talents. There is no way, bro. Oh, I'm excited now. Oh, I'm excited now. Looks like Outlaw the cooking. Because they're stealthy? Exactly. Because they are stealthy. Wait, okay, so they actually got some new stuff. This is crazy. Blinding powder or retractable hook. Combat potency, murder. Finisher moves deal 10% increased damage. Death maneuvers. Blade Flurry's damage increased by 100% generates. Okay, quick draw. Increases pistol shot damage by additional. Okay, first flicker and steel. Center strike enablers deal 20% increased damage. Generate 5 energy when they grant you opportunity. Wait, that's kind of huge. AC per sleeve up to 2 points. That seems like a lot. Dance and steel. Blade Flurry hits additional enemies. We're still target capped, are we not? Oh, Blade Flurry at least you don't need to like talent into him. Expert Duelist. Between the eyes increase your damage dealt by an additional 2%. Can that stack? Between the eyes pistol shot have a 10-yard range and deal 10% increased damage. Additional 10-yard range to do more damage. After spending 15 common points to spend no common points for 4 seconds. Abilities affected by Restless Baits cooldown 200 faster for 5 seconds until you spend common points. Wait, after spending 15 common points, if you spend no common points for 4 seconds, abilities affected by Restless Baits will cool down to 100% faster until it's spent a common point. Wait, so if you have like a slower pace of building and spending, you actually get big CDR? Blade Rush, so that's making a comeback as its own talent away from Killing Spree. Gain 1 additional max common point. Loaded dice, heavy hitter, ruthless audacity, finding an opening. Bro, this is actually crazy. Okay, Q&A.
During a Gamescom interview, it was mentioned that Horde players would be able to use Alliance-style housing exteriors and vice versa. However, in a recent blog post, it was stated that the housing style would be faction-locked. Can we get clarification on that?
Yes, there was a bit of confusion definitely around the Gamescom.
Right.
As we just saw in the deep dive video, the neighborhoods ultimately
Chat, let me know if it needs to be louder.
Specific locations.
Bellaton has armor? Really?
If
what?
You are in the Alliance neighborhood,
you're
on the
Warlocks?
outskirts of Stormwind in the Elwyn area.
Crazy.
You're in the Horde neighborhood, you're on the outskirts of Orgrimmar. While the neighborhoods, while private
I can make it a little
can
louder.
Cross-faction, you can have your guildmates, you can have your friends of the opposite faction move in. The general setting, the exterior houses there are going to reflect the location. The NPCs that are wandering around the neighborhood, again, are anchored in that place in the world. Maybe something that we revisit down the line. But
that's crazy.
Being, if you're in the Horde
we didn't
neighborhood,
see Apex
the
talents,
home exteriors need to reflect the Horde aesthetic.
But we do have talent trees on Wowhead right now.
Concern.
Speaking of things wandering around, a player named Hey Hey on the EU Spanish forums asked, I know there are plans for combat pets to appear in housing. Are there also plans for hunter pets?
Yes, so pets are something in general that we are working towards. At release in Midnight, battle pets won't be available to be placed just yet. I think something that we need to solve to make that work on the engineering side is actually making sure that they can path and move comfortably around whatever configuration of objects you might happen to place in your home or in your yard. So we are planning on delivering that shortly after launch.
So you won't have pets
Alongside that, we
that
do
can just
want
chill.
to add the ability to place your mounts in your mount collection.
Oh, mounts, cool.
If you want to, have them on a hitching post in your yard, that's something we'd love to deliver as well. Hunter pets are probably trickier. Those are character specific, and housing is an account-wide system really tied to your warband. And so,
what about demo pets? I thought so too. I said
characters, hunter pet stable would.
They should be able to make like a warlock coven and have like a succubus chilling there, but
in the plans currently.
Yeah.
Decor. Bjerke on Reddit asked, how will the trading post housing items work? Let's say there's a chair on the trading post. Will we have to buy the chair multiple times if we want a set of 4 in our house? Will there be a 10-chair bundle for a set price? Or will the purchase give us infinite amount of chairs?
Not a bad question,
this is
actually.
Something we spent a good amount of time thinking about. There's going to be lots of ways that you can get decor starting in 11.2.7 and then into Midnight through achievements, through crafting, through completing just the campaign of Midnight and so on. And we ran into a lot of the same questions that you asked, the person who asked this question.
Yes.
And for that reason, we're actually
Can't
just
hear
not
them.
going to have them on the trading post.
My
At
volume
least
is
for
the
few
highest
first
that it
months.
can,
There should
man.
be plenty of other ways that you could start
It is
gathering
the highest.
decor for your house. And then you won't have to
That
have
guy's
make that
just
hard
really
decision
meek.
between, do I want this chair?
This is
cool map or
maxed.
Cool transmog.
And I'm being quiet
Another
too.
question comes from Xanther.
Literally,
on the
if you were to
forums.
watch the stream, this is as loud as it's going to be for
How
you
will
too.
outdoor housing plots work? If I want a certain plot and it's taken, do I have the option to try another instance?
Promise you, everything's maxed.
Absolutely. Essentially, when you want to move house,
She's louder.
you're just going to say, yep, it's time to move. It's all going to get packaged up for you. Paul likes to say that a mage comes along and puts it into an arcane ball for you. Don't know if that's actually,
That's what happens.
Oh, totally. Okay. And then you can go to wherever you'd like to sort of deploy your house, and it just comes right back out of the bubble, set up exactly how you had it, so you can move around neighborhoods. You can move around
your house
different plots within a
anytime you want
neighborhood.
to.
Yep, totally
easy.
transportable.
Right
Good.
on. Celia
Cool.
on the German WoW forums asked, will there be updates to the guild system in Midnight?
I think most of the updates we see to the guild system are going to be in the form of neighborhoods. We expect to see a lot of guilds, especially guilds who are playing a lot actively with one another, to build guild neighborhoods where you'll be able to live alongside one another. So instead of the typical ways you're interacting with one another in WoW, whether that's raid nights, Mythic Plus nights, PvP, whatever it is you choose to do. You might also just start running into one another in the morning when you go out to get the paper. And so really looking forward to seeing guilds build stronger connections based on those guild neighborhoods.
I think the other systemic trappings of the guild system are something that we know is definitely due for a refresh. Guilds obviously have been there since the beginning, and there's definitely room for improvement. Our focus for Midnight, though, really was on the housing integration side of it, and the rest of the system is something we hope to get back to in the near future.
A highly upvoted question on Reddit comes from Chilligok. Chilligok asked, will we ever get another texture update for older races? Especially compared to Earthen, the hairstyles are outdated now.
We do have a couple which are coming in Midnight. As you complete the Amani campaign in Zulaman, you will be able to unlock some cool cosmetics for Darkspear trolls, some cool hairstyles, and actually skin colors as well. And so if you have any Darkspear trolls on your account, you play through the campaign,
That's cool.
You'll be able to get some cool customizations. And this is one of the ways that we do try to approach this, is as it's appropriate to the story, we'll look for cool ways that you can integrate cosmetics into your own character. That's not the only way that we might do this, though.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's something that we see as an issue to chip away at over time. We want to roll out extra customizations, hairstyles, you name it, for the existing races to continue to bring them up to parity with the very newest options. It's not something we're able to do all at once, but particularly where it makes sense and fits the story, we're excited to keep adding them. Our long-term goal is to get to a place where
they
every
gave
race,
trolls
whether it's brand new
couple
or
of new
one of
options.
the original ones, has roughly the same number of
All they
options.
need is troll beards, and that community will be
As we
satisfied.
just saw in the deep dive and going back to the Gamescom
No,
announcement,
this is
we
now
have
the
a system
Q&A.
coming
Previously,
called
they
Prey.
talked about like
And I have
new
a couple
stuff.
questions here about
But
Prey.
not only new.
System of cells on Reddit.
Yeah,
asked,
hopefully we'll get
will the
PvP
Prey
questions.
system make all mobs in the target zone more challenging, or only the Prey target plus world quests unique to that system?
Yeah, it will affect everything in the zone.
Survival reward.
So
I want to take a look at it.
If you have chosen to go into the zone chasing a nightmare mode prey, everything is going to be much harder for you. It's based on an aura that's put on you, sort of like it's almost like an affliction in a way, or a torment. And as you move through that zone, it's going to be harder.
And the player in Prey is on their own?
They are when they finally wear down that boss, if it's in one of the harder modes. Then you need to go mano a mano.
Yeah, they haven't said anything about it yet.
Normal mode, then the rest of the players in the vicinity can help you out.
Yeah, it's like the void area.
The WoW creator, Fandy, asked, is the Prey system planned to be a part of the world row in vaults?
Yeah, in one way or another. You know, as we build our expansion, one of the last things that comes in is specifics on rewards. So we don't have the specific details now, but when we do look at Prey, we look at it as similar in difficulty and sort of player activity to the types of things that you do in Delves. And Delves do take up that bottom row of the world row in the Great Vault as well. So we do expect, if you're running Prey, you're going to see better rewards in that row in one way or another.
Good. I want to get to one of the most highly upvoted questions we saw across all channels. This is from Weird Dandom Ally on Reddit. And that goes, any plans to rejuvenate the glyph system? All classes could take advantage of it for class visual customizations like warlocks have with their pets and druids with their forms.
Yeah, so there isn't a glyph overhaul planned for Midnight at launch in particular, but the general question of more customization for spell visuals, transforms, things along those lines, that's one that we're also very excited about and always looking to offer more customization, more cosmetic self-expression where possible. And the glyph system is a great vehicle for this. It's not the only vehicle, but where it makes sense, that's definitely one of the avenues we would use.
But also he gives such a non-answer.
Highly upvoted questions. We got a lot from the PvP community.
Okay.
I want to ask a few of those.
Good, PvP.
So starting with Kethcup on Reddit.
What the hell is
question
Kethcup?
is, do you have any plans on making PvP less daunting for new players?
Okay, good question, Kethcup. All right.
We're really excited to introduce a feature called Training Grounds. This is a feature where players can enter battlegrounds, fighting alongside other players against game-controlled opponents. So instead of fighting against other PvPers, potentially people who have been playing this mode much longer than you, who have better PvP gear than you, and are going to
politician type of answers.
You'll be able to fight against some opponents who you'll have a little bit more of a satisfying win rate against. And because of that, we think this will be a pretty good on-ramp for people who are PvP curious, who want to get into PvP, but feel like there's just too much of a steep on-ramp because of those daunting, aforementioned players who want to wipe the floor with you. This is going to start with a couple battlegrounds that players will be able to
I'm hoping those NPCs in those like trained BGs actually use abilities and encourage you to just trinket.
I think one of the challenges
CC and things like that.
It can be very daunting to get in, as the question implies. You know, if you're getting into PvP for the first time, you are in some cases jumping into a pool that's filled with sharks who've been doing this for 20 years. But there's so much, you know, there's nothing quite like World of Warcraft PvP and that style of conflict, that style of combat. And so really our philosophical approach as we move into Midnight to really try to rejuvenate and grow the scene is to broaden the base of that pyramid so we can kind of lift the whole thing up and help all levels of it, whether you are, you know, the most hardcore person competing for titles at the end of every season. Everyone will be better served if people feel like they can actually enter this community for the first time and discover what is so great about WoW PvP.
Let's all be sharks.
So eventually,
again, Ian took over the question and literally gave a non-answer.
Creator known
I love
as
Ian,
Supertease had the most highly upvoted question on our forums. He wrote, in The War Within, we saw major reward improvements and restructuring for Mythic Plus, which improved participation.
Good question.
Are there plans to look at the current reward structure for PvP, such as rating cutoffs or additional rewards?
There are definitely plans to look at this. One thing I can say that will be changing at launch in Midnight and the first season of Midnight is that top tier cutoff coming down from 2,400 to 2,300 for those rewards and titles. I think looking at how MMR has evolved and how the rating ecosystem has played out, that's been a bit too exclusive even for some of our best players. Broadly speaking, beyond that, I think there's a lot more that we would like to do with the system. That's not necessarily going to be happening right at launch in Midnight, but if you look, for example, at what we changed with Mythic Plus and new titles and new structure and things like the resilient keystone system in War Within, those changes came in War Within patches. So as we look to PvP and its evolution over the course of Midnight, that's definitely an area that we want to focus on.
Okay,
but
interesting.
Another one, Sandent on the WoW forums wrote, will War Mode receive more well-needed attention? More activities like zone objectives or rotating events? Maybe a free-for-all treatment?
Yeah, we're adding a whole new area into the Voidstorm zone, a giant War Mode area which reflects the same space as the Slayer's Rise Battleground. If you watched the deep dive video, you got to see that. That Slayer's Rise is also made manifest in the zone itself. And this is, if you've played War Mode in past expansions, you know that we've taken a couple War Mode areas and had maybe one in each zone, one in Ringing Deeps and one in Isle of Dorn, where PvP, when you enable War Mode, you'll have some special, unique activities. We took all those and glumped them all together right into the Slayer's Rise area.
So is that going to be the only area
playground if you have War Mode on, be able to do lots of cool world-class activities, reasons to just kill one another, and even if you don't have War Mode enabled, there'll still be PvP-themed content for folks doing world quests up in that area.
Why would you not have War Mode enabled?
That's a very good question. Yeah.
Because you're afraid of sharks.
Yeah, it's sharks.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
maybe only one zone that's
on
War Mode
Reddit
on?
asked a question that we saw a lot of, which is, when can we expect reputations from expansions prior to Shadowlands to become Warbound reputations?
Oh yeah, that.
So yeah, taking full accountability here. I know that when we rolled out the warbands, we said that we were going to work our way backwards through reputations. We haven't made progress as quickly as we would have liked. We got some of the Shadowlands reputations, but not the Covenant ones. This is something we're going to pick up and resume. I can't commit to a definite timetable, but in the long run, we don't want this, internal disparity between how different expansions' reputations are handled, and we'll continue to start with the most recent and work our way backwards.
Okay.
Thank you. Sixten on Blue Sky said, War Within is the first WoW expansion without
PvP
a legendary.
Area.
Can we
people
expect
go there
anything
when there's
in
a
Midnight,
world
or
quest
is the team taking time to
Spark.
reevaluate what place
yeah.
legendaries have in the modern game?
I think we always want to avoid things seeming formulaic, where it's like, okay, you can expect it's a new season, there's going to be a new legendary, this is how it's going to work. Legendaries should always remain special. They should feel like these are items that have clear stories behind them and feel worthy of that special orange color. And yes, we're also looking always at issues with how they're awarded. We want to make sure they feel special, but also don't turn into something where it feels bad or grindy because they feel required if you want to be competitive. There's a fine line to walk there. There aren't currently any planned for the first tier of Midnight, but as we face certain foes down the line, it may make sense for some of the items that they yield to have that orange color, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I want to ask some lore questions. So, as Mira asked, will we be getting any more background information on story regarding Lyrath Windrunner? Sorry. Any of the other Windrunner family members, perhaps?
Absolutely. I don't want to talk too much about patches, but certainly in Midnight, as we go into the Spire, you will have the opportunity to really get a brother's view of his sisters. And an opportunity to learn a lot more about what happened and what's happening in that place. And I mentioned before, we're going to see the sisters.
And Grody Toady on Blue Sky wants to ask about trolls. So here come all the names. Where is Vol'jin's story in all of this? I'm hoping we find a way to weave Vol'jin, Talanji, Zul'jin, Rokan, Zul'jan, and Zul'jara into a cohesive story about troll unity or cooperation.
Well, right out of the gate in Midnight, you're not going to see that combination of trolls, but you will see a combination of some trolls as we continue into patches and move forward. We're very much focused on what's going on with the trolls as well as what's going on with the Blood Elves. They have not always been on the best of terms for reasons. And there's definitely a story to be told about their relationship.
I feel like that could have been a perfect opportunity to make a joke. Like, oh, if you want to see trolls, just like look at the forums, you know what I mean? If you want to see trolls, just look at Wowhead comments. There's a lot of trolls everywhere. everywhere, man. We're not even at midnight.
Can
and then
we
move on to
more
like a real
lore
question
about the Tauren and Azeroth's sun god ONYXIA? Eyes of the Earth Mother told us how he and Elune slash Musha fought possibly the Void in ancient Azeroth.
Well, we are going to hang out with Desco
a little bit
in
maybe.
the Erator's journey
I feel like
portion of our campaign.
It's going to be a perfect opportunity to make them eventually an allied race.
We certainly are going to look at how the Tauren view their mythologies, perhaps later in The Last Titan.
Okay, good.
Last Titan, Tauren and Last Titan. Interesting.
The WoW creator Polka TV said, given the upcoming removal of many boss mod tools, how do you plan to preserve the intended
difficulty questions on Blue Sky? Yeah, that took one. That took one.
No longer available.
I guess they have to go everywhere, but to be honest, all those devs that are in games, a lot of them on Blue Sky. Like it or not,
as some of the
platform has, you know,
that we are
a stink about it, to be honest, but yeah, maybe they're going to take a question here and there.
With the launch of Midnight. And so that is going to remove the ability for add-ons to read in real time combat state.
If you're like, you know what, this is weird, this is weird.
One of the big reasons why we're doing this
I can see why
the launch of the new
you'd say that
is so that we can really build all of our combat, our encounters around that expectation, around this new ecosystem. As we've been discussing over the course of the year, really the main goal with this shift is to create a level playing field where external tools are no longer felt to be required in order to engage in
nameplate customization. Yeah, they're better. Yeah, they're better.
And also to shift some of the things that we are testing when it comes to difficulty.
They're already doing some cool stuff with nameplates, but they better have a lot of customizations.
You can run to the circle or diamond marker that your add-on told you to run to, and rather to more of the collaborative coordination that have traditionally marked cooperative PvE in WoW. But the goal is to keep difficulty largely the same. In terms of how many pulls it takes to down a boss for your guild, whether you are aiming for ahead of the curve and defeating Heroic, or whether you're pushing into Mythic or whatever else, overall it should take you about the same amount of time to accomplish what you're used to accomplishing.
Will they get a game on UE?
That difficulty may come in
I don't think so, man. Have you seen some of the project with Unreal Engine recently? UE5 slop is a word that's been thrown around a lot. There's some projects that are being made as UE slop.
Or that there should be UE5,
as cool as it is with Lumen and everything, it still has issues. A lot of games are going to it, but then they're also using the crutch of frame generation and FSR scaling.
We have a ton of
it's not perfect.
native improvements to the UI, like boss timers,
boss alerts, UI. Yes, exactly. I think it's what a lot of people don't want. We were doing Fractureless. I know he's talking, but this is more important, chat.
Experience that's baked into the UI.
We were doing Fractureless yesterday, and because of a weak aura not functioning for somebody, we couldn't do the boss. You literally have to have a weak aura so the boss plays itself. It's so hard to like do it manually. We were basically fighting the weak aura, not the boss. As soon as we figured out what the weak aura issue was, the boss died. It was so annoying. It was literally a reason why we were like, we don't want weak auras and add-ons anymore. It's so annoying.
Of these now built-in add-ons.
UE5 is trash.
Yeah, so I think the functionality that we're pulling
it's cool on paper. It's good on paper, but
is something that, as always,
developers have not been able to actually leverage it whatsoever.
Player feedback,
unfortunately.
And part of why we're very excited to get people having a look at these right at the start of alpha is so that we have the entirety of the alpha and beta cycle to iterate on them before Midnight launches. And then, of course, as always, even after the game is live, we're going to continue to add functionality based on
the friendlier
requests and the feedback that we're receiving.
As long as mechanics are
Ossikrond on the WoW forums
not insane,
said, sculpting your UI over the years is almost like working on a classic car. Fine-tuning with different fonts, color palettes, and even different types of glow alerts. What is the depth of the available customization, and are there plans to expand it in the future?
So there's a couple of facets to this question. First off, couldn't agree more that I think UI customization and using add-ons to tailor the aesthetic of a UI, how information is presented and where it's presented, I think are one of the hallmarks of the WoW experience and really one of the strengths of the game for going on 21 years now. There are no plans to eliminate or remove that. The approach we've taken in changing the way the add-on API works really is just focused on access to that real-time information. There'll be details coming out very soon from our UI engineering team on exactly how this works. But whereas in the past, when we have restricted aspects of what add-ons can do, we tend to just kind of
UI
off
question is an interesting one.
and say add-ons can't touch this at all. But when it comes to things like nameplates or unit frames and the like, that would have been an unacceptable approach here because that aesthetic customization is so essential. So there's a brand new system that's been created where essentially, pieces of information about what's going on in combat are put in a black box. And add-ons can paint that box pink or yellow or green or make it bigger or smaller, but what they can't do is know exactly what's inside the box and use that to drive logic.
Okay, so basically information.
The new UI functionality that we're adding, whether it's
gathering and output
nameplates or whatever,
is what
have extensive customizations in terms of size, shape, location, aesthetic, all of the
hopefully that means a good thing, not a bad thing.
But we have no intent of pulling back in any way from the aesthetic customization that add-ons have always offered.
Cutting to the chase, Felfer on the WoW forums asked, does this mean that existing add-ons like Deadly Boss Mods, Plater, or Details are going to break?
They will change significantly. I think certainly, day one, if you're logging into alpha and you try to enable them, I do not believe they will work due to changes in the API, but that's standard for any new expansion release. We are inviting the authors of a vast range of add-ons into our first week of alpha, so that's going to be coming up in just the next few days, to get their hands on these changes, to give us feedback about how we can better support their ongoing development. But yes, when it comes to the specific ability to read and process combat information and use that to drive logic, that is going to be changing, and that will affect those add-ons.
I'm assuming Details might have to pivot to like art for how to customize your
what are the plans
meters
regarding improvements to the default RAID frames? In the effort to reduce the need for add-ons, RAID frames are a major pain point for healers, where the default Blizzard RAID frames are basically unusable without at least some external modification.
So yeah, we also have improvements coming to RAID frames, definitely with healers in mind. If you're, let's say, a Resto Druid who wants to be able to see all of your HOTS on a target, that's something that we agree is very important and needs to be baked into the default functionality.
Yes, please.
Same with encounter designers calling out major buffs and debuffs and things that you need to know in an encounter, whether you're a healer or just a raid leader wanting to keep tabs on the state of the encounter that way. And of course, as mentioned earlier, add-ons will still be able to customize the look and the feel and the size and the overall presentation of RAID frames. There just won't be certain functionality that is driving logic based on whether you happen to have a certain debuff or not. But all the rest should still be available.
E. Chow on Blue Sky has a couple of questions.
Another Blue Sky question.
Given the connection to the Army of Light, the Sunwell and Blood Elves in general being their main rival in the Burning Crusade, will we see Draenei play any sort of role? Also, will Quel'Thalas be, with Quel'Thalas being part of the main world now, will there be any updates to
Quel'Thalas? Did he, hold on, did this man call it Quel'Thalas?
Obviously will be part of the fight, part of the battle that we're waging against the Void. But this
haven't you heard the Blood Elves literally yelling for Quel'Thalas?
And the Blood Elves struggle with some trolls.
I know.
And we're gonna really.
I don't even know what question she asked. Quel'Thalas.
More than we are with the Draenei. Opportunities, will come
up
for the Draenei to have their moment in the light, as it were.
It might not be somebody who's
for like changes to.
He might be new.
Lands. Well, there's some minor changes.
I thought it was Zulbrix, but I don't think it's Zulbrix.
Zorman into the main body of the Eastern Kingdoms to connect them in.
Maybe.
So there's a tunnel in the Forsaken Lands that does connect it in. We are going to see some Forsaken characters as well. We're actually going to be working with a little bit of a deep cut, but Alonsis Fowl, the Archpriest, is going to be a character who
I know Alonsis Fowl
has a couple interesting interactions and chats with Erebor and Liadrin and others. So we're going to continue to build out
from the Priest Order Hall.
Yeah, I think looking at
I will hide in shadows no longer.
How this is playing out and will continue to. I think we're very excited by some of the reception we've heard from Gamescom onwards about the changes to Silvermoon, Eversong, and more. Honestly,
Mike Tyson 100% plays a Blood Elf.
The idea of revisiting an old location,
female Blood Elf, the prettiest character
where there's some players would view that as like somehow lesser than coming up with a brand new place. But I think as people see this full splendor of Silvermoon, get a chance to revisit Eversong and what it's become all these years later, I think the excitement around that really excites us too, because we'd love to be able to tell more news stories in some of the iconic locations that resonate throughout, everyone's fandom of Warcraft and what Azeroth is about. And so that will mean updating those locations, and I think that's something that we're excited to do more of as we look forward. Of course, The Last Titan will see us going back to Northrend, so that'll be a story for another day.
I think we for sure discovered that we can tell different stories when we go to old places and see how characters have changed, see how the spaces have changed. It's been a really cool opportunity to do that in Midnight.
Let's shift to some class talk. Faxia on Reddit asked, are you planning on adding any new specs that can tank or heal for existing classes?
Answer is no.
Not right now in Midnight. I think Devourer, Demon Hunter, and that new range DPS spec for them
right now,
is our focus right now.
Rain to Jordan.
But I think we've seen, whether it's this or whether it's augmentation, there is excitement around the idea of established classes getting new specs. And so that is something I think we are likely to explore as we look to the future.
Zerotics on Reddit asked, throughout the War Within, some classes and specs received visual updates, and as a Monk player, the update to Vivify was very appreciated. Are there any other classes or specs that can be revealed to be getting updated visuals in Midnight?
Yeah,
besides Void Demon Hunters.
Really cool Apex talents. So Apex talents are the new talents you'll be able to learn at the bottom of your spec tree, and a lot of these have some fantastic visuals. Ones that jump out to me are the augmentation, where you summon a bronze dragon version of yourself from the future to fight alongside you for a little bit. The Frost Mage one as well. You summon a Hand of Frost that chases down your target and attack them. So these are some of the new abilities that are going to get some new custom visuals. As far as looking back at older visuals, as was the case with Vivify, this is something that we tend to do as we continue to build smaller patches. Most of our efforts for Midnight was building all the new stuff, but then as we continue building out the game, we look to the future. This is where we look back at, as we did with Vivify, find abilities where we can raise the floor and say, okay, this one has aged not as gracefully as the rest of our visuals, and we can bring it up to par.
Interesting.
Following that, we found a question from Nihenna on the German forums, and Nihenna asked, will the Void/Light topic be picked up in any additional class specs in the future? For example,
I think this is the first time to talk about
for a Holy
Apex
Paladin,
talents.
or perhaps Void powers for a
any
Warlock.
class.
I don't know about Void Warlocks quite yet, but we do have a existing Void themed spec, the Shadow Priest, my beloved Shadow Priest, which has a new ability, Tentacle Slam, which replaces Shadow Crash, and it is a giant voidy tentacle that slams down in a line in front of you and has a similar AoE component, but a lot more of a classic voidy Shadow Priest
I like this
idea to it. We
That's
also
cool.
have on one of our Apex talents, the Discipline Priest has Void Shield, which replaces your Power Word Shield with a Void themed shield. So there are places where the Void and Light are leaking into our class design.
Going back to the support roles, Neo Saro on the EU Spanish forums asked, can we expect anything new regarding the support role in Midnight?
I like that.
Will it be expanded to other classes? Is
Support
it considered
role,
that
AUG?
it maybe didn't work as expected for augmentation, and perhaps that just becomes a normal damage or healer?
So we're not planning on currently expanding it to other classes, but we're also not planning on changing augmentation to just fit into the existing niches. I think there's a lot of excitement around the idea of support. I think we've seen players embrace that fantasy. I think we're still iterating on evolving that specialization and getting to a place where we can find a happy medium, where it can kind of realize that fantasy and be effective as someone who bolsters the strength of your allies without also becoming so effective that it feels required in groups and kind of limits composition diversity. I think if we're able to achieve that, hopefully when we're able to achieve that, I do think we would like to look to what other ideas might apply a different fantasy to executing that concept.
I want to switch to the topic of delves. The WoW content creator Truevillain Manny said, with delves integrated into the story,
I don't know about support.
Will there be certain scenarios that are locked in as we level?
They don't have the
will there be
hardness
additional story in those alternative
to
scenarios with delves?
Yeah, as we move through the campaign in Midnight, we will be entering delves with specific goals in mind. And that particular variant of the story will have the objectives that we need to accomplish as we go through them. as always, our delves will have multiple variants to play through with different stories
for older raids and stuff.
So yes, we will continue to use delves in this way, and you know, look for opportunities to continue to build quest content
with Og,
So let's go inside. Varteris on the WoW forums said, will delves have even greater variety than in the War Within? Maybe a randomized puzzle to solve, a race, a whole new set of abilities?
Yeah, there's a couple ways that delves are changing. We have a new follower, Valera Sanguinara, is going to come along, and she's going to mix things up. She's takes delves a little bit more seriously than Brand does. And a lot more
I can see the disc maybe.
We also have some outdoor delves that are going to take place in outdoor spaces, and so this will just change up not only the vibe of the space, but your ability to move around, because you'll be able to use your ground mounts.
Yeah, that would have to do some kind of other icon.
We're also just taking a look at the mechanics that we're using in delves in Midnight. So you can announce now that Midnight does not have any underwater delves. It also does not have any delves with a mechanic where you have to, say, pick up a candle or a totem and throw it ahead and continue doing that on a continued basis.
Brand? I don't, dude. I don't.
Let us know how they felt about those, and we're not moving forward with those designs.
I'm excited for Valera.
So Relentless on the EU Spanish forums asked a version of the question we got a lot. And Ian,
sponsored by KFC.
What's stopping the World of Warcraft development team from doing a world revamp? Could we get a world revamp?
Don't stand there. I think,
packs.
It's the worst that.
The idea of revamping everything at once is a terrifying one, frankly. But I think, as touched on earlier, we definitely want to tell new stories in iconic locations. And in doing that, we would certainly do much more than just do a fresh coat of paint on the area. We would really reimagine it and bring it into the present day, as we have with Eversong. Our current focus is, of course, on the story that we're telling for the rest of the World Soul Saga. That will touch on some familiar locations. But down the line, I think the lessons we are learning and the experiences we're having, revisiting some locations, open the door to doing a lot more of it.
Okay, so maybe more world revamps in the future.
A upvoted question from Solera, a French WoW player on X. Solera asked, without giving away spoilers, very important.
Okay.
Does Midnight introduce any completely new elven tribes or expand on lesser known ones? Maybe the Keldarai?
Without spoilers.
Without spoilers.
That's a tough constraint.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's right.
I don't think it's spoilery to say we're going to be learning a lot about the elves and the elves' relationships with one another, and that would include Quel'Darai.
Thank you. And Zoris on the EU Spanish forums asked, with the Devourer specialization, all Demon Hunter abilities will use void effects and icons, even those shared by all three specializations. Has there been any consideration of extending this aesthetic customization to other classes?
So I think philosophically and narratively, what a Void Demon Hunter represents, what a Devourer Demon Hunter represents, is one who, rather than harnessing and channeling fel energy, is channeling void energy to turn it against those who originally wielded it. And so that is going to transform a wide range of their abilities. On the other hand, when we look at, let's say, a Fire Mage or a Frost Mage, they're not forsaking the arcane when they become a Fire Mage. And so Blink is still an arcane spell, and Counterspell is still an arcane spell, and so forth. And so I think when we look at other classes, we generally like to look at that broad base of multiple areas of focus. And just because you specialize in one thing doesn't mean that that transforms all of the others. That said, touching on some earlier questions, when it comes to glyph spell customizations and other things that players may want to customize the look and feel of their abilities, there's always an opportunity there.
Do they really? What's up, Sony?
Another highly
like the players or like the actual class itself?
I'll take the version of this question from Navarel on the EU German forums. Would you consider replacing the ready-made group in follower dungeons with characters from the player's warband?
Definitely something we are considering.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Not something we're going to be able to deliver for Midnight, but ever since the introduction of both warbands and follower dungeons, this idea, this request has popped up. It's something that we're excited about internally as well. There's some technical hurdles to kind of pull that information down in real time and make it work, but it's something we do want to deliver down the line.
Ian's not lying about technical hurdles. There were multiple technical hurdles in the way. We're actually jumping over one of them with Training Grounds, where we're changing the way that some of those game-controlled characters or bots are built to be building training grounds in this way gets us one hurdle closer to being able to do what you're asking for.
There are so many people.
Yeah,
on
I'm
this
pretty excited.
development team that I
wish they would talk more about
hurdlers.
classes, but it looks like WoW
Engineers,
had
that's just what
actually
they
got
do.
some talents for us to take a look
jump
at.
over
So
hurdles.
at least there's that. At least
Maria,
there is that.
Silo on the WoW forums asked, will there be new mini-game type quests in Midnight?
Yes, there will be. We actually have a new mechanic that was created for Zulaman specifically, where you will do some, underwater stuff.
Yeah, it's been some years.
It's the Amani Abyss.
It's been some years.
Style.
To me, it doesn't matter how old they are, as long as they're like passionate about it.
Style.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a revelation. I like that. While we're revealing things, Musselton on the WoW forums asked, I'm extremely excited for the Heronir. Can you share more information on their druid forms?
Well,
they showed
conveniently,
us
if
some
you
of the druid
watched
forms.
the deep dive, you saw a flash of those. Fundamentally, they all have quills to throw back to sort of the Heronir, but the tank form is a pangolin bear with sort of bat-like ears.
They all sort of got those ears.
Yeah, they
right?
got the ears and the quills, and we have a wolverine for our feral spec. We have an quilled owl-like sort of boomkin.
Tree was cool looking too.
The best of all has got to be the swimming form, the swimming travel form, which is an axolotl.
Yep.
Oh,
Axolotl.
okay.
With quills.
We're all going to learn how to say axolotl.
Yeah, I probably said it wrong, but yeah.
No, I think you got it right. I think you did.
Okay, cool.
The reveal of the Heronir led to a very common question. And a version of that question that I want to ask you came from Racktoner on Reddit. Can you explain the decision-making process for which races to make playable races?
A lot of this comes down to narrative. There's no secret that we started talking to the Heronir in the War Within, and this was not a coincidence either. We wanted to build a familiarity with Rowena, with her crew, so you'd understand who these characters are when they do eventually become playable characters, as we've added them in Midnight. And of course, Midnight is part of a 3-chapter saga. We're in the middle chapter now. The Heronir are going to be a big, important part of this story, and this is why we chose to fold them in.
I feel bad often being the bearer of bad news in these conversations, but I know that it's not lost on us that there are widespread requests from players who would love to be a Sethrak or an Ethereal or the like. And part of the question there is, as Paul said, narratively, like, does it make sense for this faction to really join the Alliance and Horde?
Well, yeah.
If they're cosmic, extraplanar, or more neutral by nature. But the reality of it is also, from a production perspective, one of the things we grapple with is that adding a brand new race to World of Warcraft is one of the most development-intensive things we can do, not just in one-time time commitment, but also in the long-term carrying cost for every set of armor we ever make for years and years to follow. And it's something that we have to weigh very, very heavily when we do. Building a race that uses or shares an existing rig, an existing skeleton, if it's an elven race or the like, makes that more straightforward. Again, that's not to say we're never going to add very novel or meaningfully different races down the line, but it's a very high bar for us to clear when we look at how much ultimately it's going to mean that we have to do less of in other places forever in order to support this additional race alongside the others.
I don't know if that's true, because in BFA they added a bunch of them, didn't they? Allied races.
I will wait. I will be patient. Please
And
give
Legion.
me Saberon. So, Massive Bear on the WoW forums asked,
I guess most of them were copies of existing
in the 3 days
stuff.
of early access? I remember Earthen were not.
No, not during the first 3 days. Yeah. So during that early access, we want to make sure that we're letting players who are in that early access be able to play through the campaign and understand what's going on, but not getting any meaningful jumps ahead of anyone else who does not have that early access.
Meredith on the WoW forums asked, how is Blizzard progressing in the war against toxicity in terms of the entire game?
Yeah, this is something that's a huge focus for us, and really, there's many
Is the game
facets
toxic, chat?
to the question and the discussion.
Yes or no?
I think when people say toxicity, there's a few different meanings, perhaps, or things that they're referring to. Some of it is just the overt hostile, harmful, antagonistic interactions that may occur online between players. We're always continuing to shore up our reporting tools, improve real-time monitoring, and get to a place where people who are disrupting our game world
in some ways,
can be punished and ultimately removed from it if they continue to do that. On the other hand, though, I think sometimes when people talk about a community or a portion of the game feeling toxic, that can arise from just mismatched expectations. Like, if I am listing a group and I'm trying to run a raid, and I have done that raid 12 times, and I have been through groups that have wiped and learned the encounters, it's reasonable for me as a leader of a pug to only want players who have a certain level of experience, who have also been through those learning wipes and can succeed quickly. And so someone who is looking to learn may feel like, oh, this is very unwelcoming, this is kind of toxic, why aren't we, why am I not welcome here? And ultimately, that's an issue of aligning expectations. And I think there's a lot more that we can do on the pro-social side of things to help people find like-minded players and like-minded groups. There's nothing wrong with wanting to complete something quickly and efficiently. There's also very certainly nothing wrong with wanting to learn and wanting a patient group. Now, if you mix those two groups, there are going to be some conflicts that emerge naturally because of different goals and expectations. So I think a lot of what we're focused on right now is also how we can help players better connect with like-minded individuals so that they can have satisfying experiences where everyone is on the same page, working towards the same goals.
Thank you. I want to rip through some more housing questions. We've got several. Will we get to see our alts walking about or maybe sitting in a chair in our house?
Yeah, this is, we're looking at a lot of the same technical hurdles we talked about earlier, not only with being able to show players and other players in game, but also the pathing issues that Ian mentioned when it comes to being able to have your pets moving around and mouse moving around and whatnot. So not planned yet, but something we do talk about as a potential for the future. And I'll take this moment to say that housing is one of those features which is really exciting for us because there are so many cool ways for it to grow. As we've built Midnight and we're sharing housing for the first time, we're going to be looking to you to tell us, what do you want? Is it that we want to see our house? Do we want more features? Do we want more decor? Do we want more ways that I can style the interior or exterior of my house? So let us know as you continue playing.
Yeah, philosophically, with a feature the size of housing, this is something we've been working on for a very long time to really deliver what players have been expecting and what they deserve. But there comes a point when we're developing, especially a social feature, where we're almost hesitant to take it too far until we can actually share it with the community and understand what people are into, what they're maybe not into so much, what they want more of, what they don't need more of, to make sure that we're really putting our time and our resources in the places that are going to maximize that value for players. And so we're so excited to see people jump in the months ahead in alpha and beta, of course, and then beginning this December on the live servers and see where it goes from there.
So here's a very specific question from Alastral on the WoW forums. For housing and professions, it was stated that professions through all expansions will be able to craft housing items. Will we be able to use this as a skill catch-up for the past expansions? For example, could a leather worker start at Wrath Leatherworking Skill 1 and craft Wrath-themed housing items to get all the way to level 75?
I mean, these will give skill ups for sure. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how many of them will be available at level 1, for example. They may be tuned based on how elaborate the piece of decor is, but in general, yeah, once you get the level that you're able to build these things, then you continue to use them to level up.
So many very specific requests. I want to just give you this one. It comes from Spera on the WoW forums. Is it possible to add a functional bookshelf to player housing that could store and display collected in-game books? I have a lot of those.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. That once you share housing with the world, then 1,000 cool ideas come out. And so we'll start gathering up all these cool ideas and say, what can we do next? I can confirm there will be bookshelves. Whether those bookshelves will be functional, no, not at least to start, but this is a really cool idea for a collection that we're gonna take back to the team.
And a couple more. Ian. Devanir on Reddit wrote, what is the minimum player limit for a private or guild neighborhood? What happens if you make a private neighborhood with the minimum amount of people and then some of them go away?
So this is something that's still a bit in flux. I think our current thinking is that just like signing a guild charter, you'll need 10 players to charter a private neighborhood. And that's for a couple of reasons. Part of it is, in order for neighborhood systems endeavors to really function optimally, there's a certain number of players that are going to be expected to really drive the system. But also a piece of it is just server performance. Using an extreme example, if literally every single player online had their own personal neighborhoods, that would be potentially millions of simultaneous entire districts that need to get spun up, trying to make sure the servers don't melt here. And so striking a balance between what's going to be a good social experience, but also recognizing that players have friend groups of various sizes, and we want to be as flexible as possible. I think if we're able to lower that number from where we're starting, it's something we would aim to do as we see how the tech side of it unfolds.
I saw an upvoted question on Reddit from a player named Backstabeth.
Combat add-ons are
this is a
actually
question I have
disabled.
myself.
That was a rumor, but it looks
very much.
It was real.
Will there be a
Real rumor.
list of collections and their sources for housing materials before housing goes live so that we can begin to start hunting for those items, maybe reputation, achievement requirements? I'd love to know what I already have or what I'm close to having.
Yeah, a ton of that is going to be visible in the alpha build coming up in just a day, but we'll have a blog summarizing it so you don't need to go trawling for the information, and that way everyone can get a head start on checking off those achievements that you may have missed.
Let's come back to a couple of fun questions before we go here. Bale Samel on the WoW forums asked, are we getting a capybara, Loa? There are capybaras in the Yamani screenshots. The people yearn for a capybara, Loa.
Well, conveniently,
Damn,
there is
what
one.
a Reddit chungus
His name
moment.
is Philo, the capybara Loa of children.
Oh, is there actually a capybara
nice.
Loa?
And I hope he has a prominent headdress.
Absolutely, and a glorious necklace.
That's perfect. Loa's should be very well outfitted, I think. Finnerfin on the WoW forums asked, could we see the return of class quest lines? Legion was great, and it was fun to have a unique experience questing on alts.
Yeah, class quest lines come up really often as something people are excited about. We certainly do want to look more at, expanding on classes. We had a lot of fun doing the Warlock one, for example, not too long ago. But most recently, the best way for you to play some class quest lines, if you never played them, has to do with our lore walking, because where we had restrictions, for example, on the Xalatath story, previously, a lot of people didn't know anything about Xalatath and the knife, and by playing that lore walking, they had the opportunity to play that portion of the priest quest line. So we're hoping that as we build more lore walking, you'll have that opportunity to see some of that, but this is certainly an area that the quest and narrative team would be thrilled to do more of.
Good. It's our last question, and I cobbled this together from versions of this question that I found everywhere. I want to give a shout out to some of the people that I borrowed this from. Aziriel, Simplejack, Martian, Zuburius on our forums, all asked versions of this. Ian, how will player power progression be updated in Midnight, especially regarding Valor Stones?
So yes, so the way the upgrade system has played out over the last couple of expansions, I think we're happy with the sort of granular incremental progression that complements that spiky randomness of loot drops. But there is, and we agree with player feedback that we've heard, potentially one too many moving pieces and a bit too much complexity in the current system. So I can announce that Valor Stones as a currency will be going away.
Oh! Valor Stones is going away!
That you need, and that should be sufficient. We're also looking to streamline the system a little bit and more clearly pair individual crest tiers.
I was not paying attention until you said Valor Stones is going away.
So that there's potentially less confusion about what crest matches to what.
Anything further, Paul?
No, I think that's great. Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
We're over here pumping fists.
Yes, absolutely.
Very excited.
Yeah, rip Valor Stones.
Well,
and on that note,
that's our time. Thank you, Ian, Paul, Maria. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you to everyone watching along. We've got Midnight Alpha testing starting very soon. We can't wait to see you there and welcome you home.
Thank you.
Okay, well, that's cool. That was a Q&A of Q&As. I was all right. I don't know, man. I really wish to talk more about classes and stuff, but here we are. We do have the talents, however, so that's cool. We do have the talents. I don't know if they're updated or anything like that, but I kind of want to take a second look at some of these. Yeah. Challenge trees are created by hand. Containers, typos not present in the alpha. Wait, is the alpha available right now? Are people in? Not, right? Are people in the alpha chat? Or what? Hold on a sec. What was that? Holy dude, is this guy for real? Is Lil Bro for real? Oh my god, dude. Holy moly. Is he for real? Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. What is that? Man, that collection is terrible. What is this? What is this price of 163? That seems like a lot, dude. That seems like a lot. Chat. I want to go back to the talents. Take a look at them really quickly again. I don't know if Midnight... Is the alpha available yet, chat? Are people playing it? Is the alpha out yet or not? Anybody know? I'm gonna look at Twitch real quick, see if anybody's actually on the alpha right now.
Got the window.
Arjun Arena. No, it doesn't look like anybody's on the alpha. Talents changed a lot on release. Yeah, it looks like there was a lot of talent changes on release. Let me test them. Talent changed a lot. Yeah, I know. They'll change quite a bit. I just wanted to see if like if any of the talents have changed in a crazy way. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's on the Midnight Alpha. Max is on some kind of screen for Midnight Alpha, but I don't think he's on the Alpha. I think he's like just on PTR. Yeah, incompatible. That's just PTR though. Yeah, so alpha's not up or anything from what I could tell. Okay. What does it fight? Yeah, I'm not dealing with that, dude. Chat, I'm dealing with some dumbass guild drop. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's take a look at the actual talents, though. I do want to take a look at what we have. This is like the most updated stuff. I don't think they have a lot for rogues. Subtlety. Oh, they have icons. Hold on. We actually have some new stuff. I am excited about this. They actually have some new stuff, man. Actually have some new stuff. Honestly, you should always pick the talents first based on your playstyle and trust them. Yeah, exactly, though. If I do get into Midnight Alpha, maybe I will, maybe I won't. No idea, no guarantee, none of that, man. You know, I have no clue, honestly. But yeah, I do want to take a look at this. Deadly Poison being a talent point is, I think, kind of not great. Honestly, off the bat, cannon strikes increase critical chance by 2 or internal bleeding. That's actually okay talent. Crimson Tempest being put up in the higher row is, I'm okay with that. Energy regen increased by 30 from motivated murder. Doomblade is here. Garrote lasts 6 seconds longer. That could be good in PvP, actually. Hold on a second. Wait. 6 seconds longer? Is that just the bleed duration? That might not be that good. Maybe if like bleed builds okay. Caustic Spatter being up here without a choice note is nice. Then it's a flying daggers or a secondary poisoning. When you apply weapon poisons with a single target attack, 50% chance to strike nearby enemy physical damage, you get cleave? Okay, hold on. You can get cleave as assassination rogue, which is exciting. Envenom 5% chance, poison bomb. Basically normal poison bomb. Lethal dose. Deathmark over here. Finish the job. All damage you deal is increased by 10% while Deathmark is active. So while you have a Deathmark on it, this is more like an AoE talent. I mean, more single target burst, but also more AoE talent. While a target has Deathmark, you deal more damage. That's actually not that bad. Intent to kill and Iron Wire. Guard talents and target 5 seconds of stealth. Enemy sounds by Garrote deal 15% increased damage. Shadow Step Cold reduced by 33. Yeah. Fatal Concoction. I don't know what these talents on the side here are, but Amplifying Poison. Rupture damage increased by 20%. That seems like a lot. Off of a poison talent. Deadly Momentum. Finisher moves gives a 30% chance per combo point to increase your chance of critical strike. Wait, so is this a legendary or something from back in the day? So you're just more crit. Okay. Venom effects deal damage. Inspiring Strike. Applying a Venom while the Venom is already active causes it to increase all damage dealt by 5% in addition to increasing poison. That could be kind of good. Or applying a Venom while the Venom is active restores the calm point. Okay, so spamming in Venom or chaining in Venoms is going to be rewarded. Interesting. And then that picks up Dragon Temper Blades. Kingsbane has Regicide's reward. When Kingsbane ends, you gain 2% haste for every 5 stacks of increased Kingsbane. Okay, that's interesting. Blindside into a Zoldyck into Dash and Scoundrel is a little weird. Implaceable. Nothing will save your target from you. Envenom damage is increased by 10%. When your Envenom bonus expires, you gain 40% increased energy generation. Wait, so you want Envenom to fall off then with this build. Gaining additional 50% energy regeneration for each Envenom used while Envenom bonus was active. Wait. While it was, so you basically want to stack up Envenom, but if you do lose it, you gain a bunch of energy. This could be good. Hold on, because you don't always chain Envenom. You do gotta reapply bleeds, but that'll give you a bunch of energy to go back into Envenom spam. That could be interesting. Nature and bleed damage is increased by 10%, so it looks like they are just buffing this baseline. Implaceable. So they don't have a name for it. After striking with Kingsbane, after striking with Kingsbane, rapidly strike the target 5 times over 1.5 seconds. For physical and nature damage, each strike applies lethal poison, so basically easier stacks up for Kingsbane. Dude, they actually get some good talents for assassination, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these actually look exciting. Hold on a second. Okay, Outlaw, I'll double check this. Opportunity, so basically it's your proc. Nice. Adrenaline rush, hit and run, or combat stamina. That kind of sucks that it's a choice, but I can see why they condensed it. Combat potency for energy regeneration by 16%, so there's no longer like an offhand component. You're just buffed to energy. That's good. Between the eyes, because you damage double by additional 2%. If this is 2% per column point, that would be insane. But an actual damage amp on a target. But I guess your damage, not a group damage. That would have been cool as a raid buff though. Between the eyes, pistol shot have a longer range and increased damage. After spending 50 comm points, you spend no comm points for 4 seconds. Abilities affected by restless blades will cool down to 100% faster for 5 seconds at generally. So there seems to be like a delay component to this. I don't know how like this Deadly Pursuit talent, but if you have a delay with comm point building and spending, or if you're slow to comm point building and spending, maybe you'll now want to pull energy if you're like low on energy, playing like a low energy build as a spec. This is weird. I feel like this is better subtlety than an outlaw. Therefore, it's actually damage increased by 100%. Generates a comm point. Finisher moves deal more damage. That's fine. Quick draw is basic opportunity. Swaps out quick draw. Each pistol shot increases the damage of pistol shot by additional percent. Each charge of opportunity consumed. So opportunity has charges immediately with quick draw. So you no longer need fan the hammer to make this work. Interesting. Fatal Flourish. Offhand attacks and pistol shots have a 25% chance to get energy, and then Deeper Stratagem. Ruthlessness, which gives you a chance to gain comm points when you use a finisher, Blade Brush, Loaded Dice, Sleight of Hand, Improve Between the Eyes, 4 times of crit damage, and then you get Thief's Versatility or Thunder Strike and Ambush, deal 20% increased damage. I actually like the Flickering Steel, and when they grant you opportunity. So it's only when they hit a second time. That means one of the Roll the Bones build becomes better that way. Blade Flurry strikes 2 additional enemies. Between the Eyes can reset. Wait. Between the Eyes has a chance per comm point to grant energy and reset its cooldown. So you will just reset the ability. Outside of stealth. Is Crackshot not a thing anymore? Oh, Crackshot's not a thing. Oh, this is weird. Improved Adrenaline Rush. Full comm points when you get Adrenaline Rush. Attacks that generate comm points deal 10% more damage. Pistol Shot has a chance to make an next ambush usable without stealth. Chance for Thunder Strike to strike twice and opportunities increased by 10%. Okay, so these are some components to work with it. Auto attacks. An auto attack damage, movement speed. Okay, so they basically took Acrobatic Strike's class thing and they made it into like a spec thing. Yeah, so Swift Slasher is a haste scaling. Okay, so it's like Swift Slasher gave it to all specs. Weird. Heightened Rush. Adrenaline Rush duration increased by 3 seconds, or Medicine Rush. Adrenaline Rush magnifies your precision and power, increasing the damage of your call point generated abilities healed by 15%. Wait, it's a damage buff. Adrenaline Rush is actually a damage amp now. This is huge. I love this. An actual damage amp for Adrenaline Rush. That is what I needed. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yes. This is what we needed. Apparently there's going to be some big mount for 11 point MK11 achievement. Okay, so apparently some big War Within achievement mount is coming out in chat. 0 in. Auto attack, critical strikes. Increase the damage of your critical strike chance of hitting in the eyes. Wait, so there's some crit scaling now. Okay, interesting. Grand Melee is the Blade Flare causes your attacks to hit nearby enemies for additional 10% of the normal damage. That's a sizable buff. Wait. Grand Melee, is that the Roll the Bones buff? Huh? Samara Dispatch. So Samara Dispatch is now on the left side. So it's basically buffs up the damage. Wait, Dispatch deals increased damage and costs less energy. This damage bonus is increased by 50% while your damage is enhanced by Between the Eyes. Wait! So this has even better Between the Eyes interaction. Dragon Bone Dice. The bonuses granted by Roll the Bones are stronger. Bonuses chance for roll Thunder Strike to strike twice. Bonus to Thunder Strike and ambush damage are 5% greater. Bonuses to Restless Blade cooldown reduction 10% greater. Jackpot bonus. Wait, they redid Roll the Bones. This right here tells me they redid Roll the Bones. Jackpot bonus. Bonus to Restless Blades. Bonus to Thunder Strike and ambush. Chance to Thunder Strike and ambush to strike. Looks like there's only 4 buffs for Roll the Bones Outlaw. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? This is new. Critical strike chances, Jackpot bonus to critical strike chance 5 greater. I don't know what that means. Fan the Hammer. Okay, so Fan the Hammer is still in the game for additional shots. And then Hidden Opportunity, Ambush has a chance to grant opportunity, strike another time. I'm gonna replay that real quick. 80% chance, oh wait, Ambush chance has a chance to grant opportunity chance trigger the effect 80%, so it doesn't have a chance to double hit anymore. Got it. Killing Spree, same ability. Keep it rolling, same ability. Fast action, cooldown between those reduced by 5 seconds. Take it by surprise. Okay, so that's here now? Okay, they moved the capstones, but the roll of the bones is definitely doing something different. They're doing something new. Sub looks about the same, it just looks bloated. Am I the only one that feels this way? I don't think there's a single thing new here. Not a lick of new stuff. I don't know if I like that, chat. Fate bound, is there anything new? Hand of Fate. Flipping a coin restores health, or you have a 30% chance to absorb damage. Oh, that's actually could be good, the restore health, if that's good enough. Deal of Fate, Assassination, Cinder Strike, Image Generate. Okay, so that's that. Deliver Doom. Between the eyes, deal 5% more damage and consume 5 more comp points. Mean Streak, which is the comp point generation. Pinner Twine, which is the AoE. Overflowing Purse. Inventum chance to flip 3 coins. Outlaw has a chance, 4% chance to flip 3 coins. Or Destiny Defined. Weapon points just have a 5% increased application chance. With your fate-bound coins, flip additional 5% chance Majesty coin. Okay, yeah, so this is new actually. A lot of this is different. Could have been a little slow, or total cooldown increased by 5 seconds, but you can do it twice. Edge case is the same. Energy extreme to flip a coin. Give 50 energy for coins that land on the edge. Wait, big resource generation with coins. Wait, that's actually really good. Under construction, under construction. What about tricks here? Is that new? So tricky. Don't be suspicious. Coup de grace. Under construction. So they did change some of these actually. Wow, there's actually quite a lot to look over here, chat. There's actually quite a lot to look over. Are PTR ROMs up at least? Let me check. Let me check anything here. Holy moly. Chat, I think that's it. I think that's all we got for the day. I think that's all we have for the day. I don't think we have anything new. Yeah, PTR Alpha realms are no longer showing up here where previously they were. I think we're done for the night, boys. I think we're done for the time being. This is a lot of fun. Definitely a lot to take a look at. Definitely a lot to go over. I probably am going to do a video on rogue talents. I'm going to do a video on the deep dive. I'm going to do a video on a lot of things. But yeah, there's a lot to go over. Thank you all. You guys are wonderful. If you watched it all the way to the end here, I appreciate it. That's going to be my stream. I'm not going to have like an evening normal stream or anything. I'm just gonna get some work done at this point. Maybe get some food, and then at some point, take a nap. But yeah, thank you all. I'm just gonna go. Alrighty, boys. Peace. Wait, did I have the music loud this entire time? Oh, damn it. Somebody should have told me. Alright, well, rip.